Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live. And we have a lot to discuss. Debate show on the eve of the FA Cup final. Tomorrow, we play Manchester City, but it feels like there's more pressing issues than a football match, a FA Cup final match. One particular name stands out, and that is Ten Hag. Mr. Ten Hag is set to be sacked at the end of the season. Marcel, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I feel for you, man. We'll get into it. Make sure you get some broken heart emojis right now. Spam it right now for Marcel. It's not good time for Marcel, man. You know what I mean? Because we've had some situations where we're saying, have you seen him? Last talking Ten Hag politics. We had to deal with man like Mr. You know what I mean? Trust the process. 4 years, people. We beat Newport County, guys. You know, we've had to deal with a lot, man. But we're here, man. CK, we got Ash, we got Marcel, we got Wavy Temi, Griggs. How we doing, man? It's been a crazy day, man. It's been a crazy day, guys, isn't it?
Yeah, mad, bro. Mad. Crazy. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Get Saeed to 100K. Big up to the panel. Big up to everyone. We have a lot to discuss. As you said, we have the biggest game of the season tomorrow, but as this club always does, you know, it's a drama. It's keeping up with Manchester United, not keeping up with the Kardashians. So
trust me, you know what I mean. We've got Anthony apparently leaked the team news, some rumors about that online. We've also got situation regarding people wanting INEOS out already. I'm seeing fans saying INEOS out already. Fickle fan base, you know. It's crazy, man.
Saeed, let's not act like you wouldn't be saying that if Ten Hag stayed.
Bro, I don't get it, man. Trust the process, man. What's going on,
guys? Not staying, or is it? He's not staying.
Come on, man. Trust the process. Come on, man. You
trust the process for sure, but you know, this. I don't know. This is fate. You know, you was talking about progress, not process. Now it's process.
No, but I'm using the words that you lot told me. I'm using the same arguments I got told about. Yo, man, give Ten Hag time, give INEOS time. I said, listen, I will see it. You know what I mean? See it to believe it, innit? And right now, I'm just saying, yo, man, you can't be saying INEOS out. You know what I mean, bro? Well, so it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I guess
we got Neeks in the building. Neeks, surprise entrance for Neeks.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. What are you saying?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I can't stay too long because it's my nephew's award ceremony for the season just done. Man. So but I'm here for a little bit, so yeah, I can chop out.
Yeah, man, you will start with you, man. How you feeling, man? The Ten Hag's due to be sacked, man. What are you saying?
You see, for me, I think Ten Hag can't complain. Ten Hag could easily have been sacked from December, January. Like, he could have been sacked at any point in the season. But the timing ain't good. I don't like you know, remember 2016 when LVG got sacked for Jose? That was just after the FA Cup final. The news came out whilst basically the players also celebrated, but the match was done, the season was over, and obviously at Wembley Way, everyone's coming out of Wembley and everyone's singing, you know, Jose Mourinho. But that's fine because it might not be good for Van Gaal, but the season's done. It doesn't affect the players. But this used to come out on the eve of an FA Cup final, which we already got next to no chance of winning. How does this help the players? How does this help the manager? So me as a fan, I know it's not the media's responsibility to protect our players and protect our club, but me as a fan, I can't celebrate Ten Hag, if the reports are correct, Ten Hag leaving regardless of the result, when that news comes out the night before, because now I'm like, the little hope that I just had that the ball might bounce our way. These players, how are they going to react to this? But if we're just talking about the sacking itself, I said Ten Hag can't complain. Even his staunchest defenders must understand why the club would have come to this decision if they have come to this decision when it's finalised. But my biggest concern, other than the final tomorrow, and I kind of dropped a comment under one of your tweets earlier today, is the replacements. Who is it that we're getting to replace Ten Hag? And that's my biggest concern because, yes, this season's been terrible. And many things he's done has been unforgivable this season. But are we going to just move sideways to a manager who is going to live and die by their philosophy? Are we going to potentially move backwards because the managers we're going for are inexperienced, ain't got no kind of CV, no kind of experience at this level, or are we going to go upwards? Are we going to go for someone who's proven it already, still relevant? Obviously, there's options out there, and that's my biggest concern. And the names out there, a lot of them are not appealing to me. The ones who are getting heavily linked, they're not appealing to me. So I can't celebrate. I can't celebrate, but it is what it is.
Well, listen, I don't like to use the word celebrate. I'm just kind of relieved. You feel me? I like to use the word relieved nowadays because you have to relieve the process is over, as someone would say, man. You know what I mean? Like, Marcel, why are you shaking your head, man? He has been sacked for a reason because it has been embarrassing this season. Yes or no? That's the reason. He's failed at his job.
It's been a very difficult season. You know, there's been clear mitigating circumstances as the reason why the season's gone the way it's gone. And to regards what you're saying with INEOS and a process within INEOS, they've already lied to us about how and the avenue of in which they're going to enact their process. You know, a lot of their rhetoric was about changing the 1% around the manager. That's what they said they were going to do.
They didn't say anything though. They didn't really give it. They didn't really back him. They didn't really say anything bad about him. So they said, "Listen, we're doing our process and whatnot." They haven't said anything though, Marcel. They haven't said they're backing him or they're sacking him, which is something that I think everybody said was a good idea to do. So I think you're wrong there, Marcel.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking about what they've said in terms of what their actions following their words. Their original words was they're going to change the 1% around the manager and give them a correct environment to flourish in. They haven't even completed that work yet.
Did they mention Ten Hag's name?
So already their premise of what they've been trying to do has not fully been completed, and then they've gone ahead and sacked this manager. So that already shaky grounds that we're working on with them. They have to have a good summer window for me. So I understand people that would be that. No, I don't understand people that would say INEOS out, but already there's a premise of in which they haven't completed their rhetoric on properly. That's just a fact. What Sir Jim was saying is that he wants to get all the stuff around the manager worked on first, and that's why he's not going to focus on whether the manager should get backed or sacked. That was the rhetoric. The fact that he's kind of, waited up until this last moment now to decide to sack the manager before the worst time to do it. It's disgraceful. It's an absolute disgrace that it's happened in this manner. In terms of it being embarrassing this season, I don't know about that. I really don't. I can really.
Oh, come on. What are we doing there?
Yeah, listen, what are we doing there? That's like,
man. If you just let me finish, and I appreciate that. So, I don't think it's been embarrassing specifically on Ten Hag. Like 100%, it's his fault. There's been many a reason and variables that it's been difficult for him to control as to why it's got to this point. And that's just the reality. You cannot account for all these injuries and expect a spectacular season. You just can't.
But so why haven't Newcastle and the people who've been above us, who have had similar injuries, by the way, haven't had the same embarrassments this season as Man United?
Again, the quality of footballer that they're a bit further into their process, Newcastle. So they've got a bigger squad prepared for the style of football in which they want to enact. Chelsea Football Club, a big squad of plentiful of quality.
Which they've been having a lot of injuries. Look at their quality. Yes. Let's be honest. They had a bench. They had a bench full of youngsters, Marcel. Remember, there was a games where they were playing like Washington and them man in the back. We never for once had a full 11, substitute bench of all young players. We had some, but we had a few experienced players with that, like likes of Amrabat and whatnot. Come on, they had so many injuries, man. Reece James, their whole back line was out one time. Like, come on, man.
So did we.
Yeah, I'm saying, but the embarrassment levels of them hasn't been like us. Like, we finished 8th and we've had 14 losses this season. For me, it's gonna be embarrassing. Whether you like the circumstances or not, you can still call it embarrassing. You can.
Yeah, yes, but I feel like you're shining the light on solely Ten Hag when you're saying it's been embarrassing. Is what I'm trying to say.
The players are involved. Of course, the players are involved.
I'm saying you've got to distribute that blame in different avenues and angles as to why it's been embarrassing. And then when you understand that, you don't come to the conclusion of sack Ten Hag, sack Ten Hag, sack Ten Hag. You say there's been other situations that have added to this whole situation, not just Ten Hag's inadequate moments that he's had, which is part and parcel of being a manager at the beginning stage. You have to get it. This manager, whoever comes in next, is going to make big calls and big mistakes in moments. It's part of the learning process.
You know the biggest thing, Marcel. You know the biggest thing, because outside the results, because when you look at it, there's a few points between us, Chelsea, Newcastle. So 6 to 8. There's a papers width between the lot of us. So don't even just look at the points themselves, but even the way that we've played all season compared to Chelsea in certain parts and Newcastle in certain parts, whether sometimes they get some players back or not, or regardless, we can probably count on one hand. And when I say one hand, I'm being very generous. The amount of games you can say we played well that game. It hasn't happened. So the results that we've had can be put to injuries, etc., the position we finished. But the way we're playing from literally from the first game, remember that first game against Wolves where they were cutting through us from start to finish. We were 1-0 up and we were lucky not to concede a penalty right at the end from Onana. From that game right through up until maybe the game just before us, the Palace game, it was the same crap game after game after game. So aside from injuries, there's something that the manager can do to alleviate the pressure that the team is going to face just by not having his best players. That he can implement a style that the players are able to put in performances that even though they might not get all the results because they ain't got the best players, they're able to actually put in respectable performances. We haven't done that all season across pretty much all competitions. There's been an odd moments in even a Champions League game where you're like, oh, we're playing well, and all of a sudden someone does something mad, Onana throws it in the back end there and it all capitulates. But of course, a lot of the blame has to go on the players. And we know some of these players have been failing for years. But we're Manchester United. And I don't say that talking about, Fergie, we've won X, Y, Z. But you can't say that this season has not been anything short of an embarrassment when you finish in your lowest ever position since the Premier League started. That in itself is a crazy statement, regardless of how you got there. Call it for what it is. It's an embarrassment. And then you can start splitting up about who's to blame for this. But when you start saying it's not an embarrassment, everything that you say after that, I have to take with a pinch of salt, because I don't think you're even analysing the season properly. It's like you already want to protect whoever it might be, whether it's some players, whether it's the managers, whether it's the board, whatever it might be, by not calling it what it was, an utter embarrassment. Now, if we win the FA Cup, you say, all right, we take a trophy. But it's still, the majority of the season has been an embarrassment. We have to call it for what it is.
Yeah, I can understand that to an extent. I would say when you say we're Manchester United, what are you really trying to get at there? If you look at the last few seasons, we've not been that Manchester United that I think you're trying to speak to. That's very simple. We haven't been achieving first and second.
Marcel,
we haven't been dominating in Champions Leagues. So we're not that Manchester United of old. We have to.
I get it.
That's true.
Yeah, we have to relook at what
Tell me, I'll let you come in
with that Manchester United.
Yeah,
go on, tell me.
That's fair, but let that sink in. You just said we're not. This is the worst we have ever been. We've been 10 years of being awful, and this is the culmination of it. The absolute worst season in Premier League history. Like it's embarrassing. He needs to go. I'm sorry. Like he needs to go. I'm glad he's going. Like it's a fresh start. And you said some things earlier, Marcel, about INEOS not holding up to their word or whatever the case may be. They've had multiple opportunities to back this man and haven't done it in so many interviews, so many different interviews that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been in. The only thing he said is the manager we are going to pick a philosophy, and then the manager has to abide by the philosophy we pick. So maybe over the 6-7 months that they've been here, they've assessed Ten Hag and said, the way he plays, this is not the philosophy we want. He can go. They've changed. I said this yesterday. They've changed the CEO, technical director, all these different things in the backroom staff. Why would you not bring in your own manager? It just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Fresh start, brand new, and we go and we move forward. It's okay. I don't think he's I'm sure he'll go on, maybe manage another club, do a good job. His course is ran, and that's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I don't understand this attachment thing is just, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like we were piss poor. We were piss poor.
I'm going on what they're saying.
Real quick. No injuries. We were awful. I tried to back it. Everyone did. Like it comes a point, and then again, to me, the the thing that makes me the most frustrated is you're going into press conferences and you're telling people that we're playing well when we're not playing well. That is a cardinal sin to me. Like, don't insult my intelligence. Don't gaslight me. Don't do all these things that don't make any sense. You feel me? Like, Marcel, do you think we played well this season?
Yeah,
At any
so
point?
so in spurts and in moments, yes, and that's what he
No.
was speaking to in a
Come
lot
on,
of these
come
press
on, bro.
conferences. He'll be
Be
talking
real.
about spells
Where
in
were
games
we?
where we played well.
5 minutes.
If you're talking
A
about
5 to
if you're
10
talking
minute
about
spell in a
quotes,
90-minute
if you're
game is
talking
not
about
playing
quotes
well.
where he specifically talks about or phrases where he says, "Oh, we played the most dynamic football right now in the league" and stuff like that.
Which were
If you look at
exaggerated.
the meaning of the words of what he's saying, you could look at it and translate, or that point of view could be deemed correct.
Why are you
But
creating all this?
when he's talking in throughout the whole season, he's been speaking to minutes in the game, 20-minute spells, 10-minute spells where we've played well, this, that. But that's kind of the story of a football match. You're going to have moments where you have to suffer, and you're going to have moments where you play well.
No, incorrect. Yes, obviously there's moments in the match. If you're suffering for 85 minutes out of a 90-minute match, that is not good enough. Consistently, by the way. It'd be one thing if we go on a 3-game stretch where we play well, maybe we slip back up, we have one game, 4 games we play well, maybe we don't get all the results we want. There's not 5 games where I could say from minute 1 to minute 90 we were the best team. 5 games, not 5.
There's kind of like, you know, yeah.
There's not. Think about that. That is mind. Like, that is in my time as a Manchester United fan, that has never happened. Even in times where we were awful, like that 7th place season, we had better performances. Like, let it sink in. That it doesn't get any worse than this. And guess what? He's gonna leave. We're gonna bring it in. I don't know who INEOS wants to pick. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about what they do in the summer. To be honest with you, whoever the manager is, I'm gonna back it. But like, let's be real here.
This is just justified, man. It's justified.
Marcel, do you think that? Are you more scared of? Do you think Ten Hag is actually the guy to going forward, or are you just more scared of being caught in that same cycle that we've been in for the past 10
that's a
years
good question.
So CK, it's a bit of both. So I think the style of football that Ten Hag had was the correct style of football. We didn't have the players for it. The previous managers played a different style of football, all counter-attacking based. This manager wanted to play front foot football. But so I believe that we're going through a cycle of every 2 years. We don't want to get to that period where to get to take the next step. If you looked at the overlap with Ole, he mentioned it at a certain point where he wanted to move the lines higher up and take the next step, playing dominating football in the opposition's half with better quality players. But we couldn't do it, CK. So it's a combination of both, but it's part of a process where you have to take a step back to a degree, especially when you add the financial difficulties that we're going through, CK. You're going to have to take a step back a little bit, extract some of these poor quality players, get better players in, whether they're floor raisers or better quality players. And then we're going to have to learn to play on the halfway line and impose our style of football. Other managers weren't really doing that from that standpoint. So it's a bit of both. And I thought Ten Hag at some stage, if you keep allowing him to work on the process and improve it, it's not FIFA, CK, where you can just bring 20 world-class players in. There's financials, we had divas at the football club that were going against certain things, so many predicaments that he had to manage. So that takes time. You saw it with Arteta. You've seen it play out with Pep in a shorter period for Pep because he had world-class system around him, which I thought INEOS was going to enact first. You've seen it with Klopp, the structure helping him choose and select the right footballers. You've seen it with Newcastle, slowly progressing in their process. Aston Villa, to a degree now, they've had a good, stable season. So it's just part of the process. And now that transitional period of poor quality footballers at our football club that we've now all realised as fans are not going to get us first place, second place, or Champions League. And at some stage, because we're Man United, we're going to demand that. You're going to go through this process. And then, by the way, CK, look at the injuries, astronomical injuries that have decimated any sort of structure that you would want to build. So we needed to give Ten Hag time right now with this season. It's been a very hard season to manage. Both things, though, that you're saying, CK, are things that I'm conscious about. Definitely conscious about. Every 2 years, when we try to get to that next stage,
But
The
INEOS
fans don't
have
want
no
to.
jurisdiction over Ten
Let's
Hag, though.
say-
I don't get this.
My
Marcel,
only
man.
thing though
Marcel,
is like if you want to, sorry, just one final point on that, and I hear what you're saying, Marcel, but I'm saying we're in this cycle, right? We don't want to keep going in this cycle and cycle and cycle. But with this new sporting leadership that we have, I don't think it's shocking that INEOS want to bring in their own coach to kind of permanently break that cycle, and we bring in their own coach that's going to implement their ideas and kind of have a clean slate. So of course, when a manager gets sacked in any sport, whether it be basketball, football, American football, it's not solely on them. But when you accept that job as a Manchester United manager, that blame, the lion's share of the blame in losses is going to be on you no matter what. And when we see the decisions that he's made this season, consistently picking Casemiro when he clearly doesn't work, taking this long to play an Amrabat and Menu pivot when everyone could see that was going to be the most defensively secure thing and not leave those gaps in midfield, taking this long to implement Ahmad into the squad when we're clearly sure that Ahmad is the best option on that right wing, running a 19-year-old Garnacho into the ground, starting him 37 straight times when he hadn't started 2 games in a row in November, and then proceeds to start him 37 straight times after that. So yes, there are injuries, there are mitigating factors, but we've had 45 injuries this year in the Premier League. Chelsea have had 43, and they've still looked better than us for the majority of the season. So there are, of course, there are circumstances where Ten Hag got very unlucky this season, but you also have to look at the grand scheme of things and saying he still had opportunities to fix it and make it way better than it was, and he was stubborn. He continued to pick the wrong players, to play a style of football that clearly didn't suit his personnel. Whether the personnel was great or not, you can still adapt better than what he did. And I think when you look at the INEOS's decision, you have to say that you can't complain really, even if you think it's, Ten Hag is, the person to go forward. Either way, I think you have to say, there has to be some sort of understanding where it's like, okay, I get how this decision can be made.
I'm not saying I don't get it. I was saying I was the first person to say to Zerbi in January. I think it was on Saeed's channel. I was the first person to say.
Why have you changed your mind now? Why is it Kieran McKenna now? By the way.
I'm within the reality, CK. I'm 100% ready to move on.
Course,
I'm 1,000% ready to back the next manager into oblivion because I believe we'll get to this point again with the next manager, CK. So I'll see you in the future, is what I'm telling everyone.
Now, can I say something, by the way? Go on.
Just on the Zerbi thing, the reason why I've changed it from the Zerbi to McKenna, and I haven't really. I'm still battling between the two because, as you can imagine, as a United fan, this is a crazy period. Everyone should be sitting on the fence right now. What the hell is going on? To be honest with you, but
I know
the reason why I'm saying it's more McKenna than Zerbi right now is because he's somebody that loves the club. He understands he's going to understand the principles of the club instead of involving the wingers.
Let him cook.
The wingers. Hopefully, he's going to take a next step further in terms of the attacking style of play, and playing more attacking football. He's done well with Ipswich, and if we give him the right time and we give the manager time, CK, the time that I think Ten Hag needed, he will continue to evolve the squad and improve the quality of footballers that try and enact his system. So if that happens and we allow a manager to get through the difficult process, the sufferation period where we're demanding certain things from them that they can't achieve with this poor quality squad, and we get to they actually get time to up-regulate the quality of the squad, then I think he can be the guy. So that's why I think it's closer to McKenna than Zerbi right now for me.
Let me get Nick's point because I know Nick's got to go.
Yeah, I got to go in a second. So the last thing I'll say quickly is that I might stay for just want to hear what Saeed's got to say after. But the last thing I'll say is I want to make it clear I'm not Ten Hag out per se. I'm not Ten Hag in. To make it 100% clear either. But I am in this place where, as I started off with, he can't complain if he gets sacked, as the reports suggest. But I'm not Ten Hag out because while some people might be like, yeah, McKenna can do X, Y, Z, I know McKenna managed League One, he managed in the Championship, both with Ipswich. And when he was coaching at Manchester United under, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we weren't playing great football. The same, a lot of the criticism that we're hearing now, or different criticism, but criticism about our style of play, was being levied at the door of McKenna and Carrick. That was a lot of the talk from a lot of Man United fans. McKenna hasn't done anything of note in his career thus far to say he's the man to make this big step up from Championship to Manchester United. Zerbi to make a step up from Brighton to Manchester United, the same way Potter tried to and failed. And all the other names of managers who up and come in, got a good philosophy, but haven't proven anything. The reason why I can't be Ten Hag out is because I don't know if the next manager that we're targeting for this new start of the process is, as I mentioned, a sideways step or a backward step. If you could guarantee me, and I'll give one name, Thomas Tuchel. That's a name that I can say personally. All right, if you're going to say we're getting rid of Ten Hag or Thomas Tuchel, I say we're moving in a direction that says we're trying to win, not a direction where we just want to plan for the future. What does the future look like? Tomorrow, you think in 2 years, we're going to sell X amount of players, we're going to buy X amount of players, and we're going to challenge for the league. And in 2 years' time, the whole football landscape changes. Managers leave, players decide to leave, and the plan that you had 2 years ago doesn't exist anymore. Arsenal are on a great process right now. Great process. Ready to win. But they're 5 years deep with Arteta and haven't won anything of note.
No.
If tomorrow the landscape changes, Slot hits the ground running, Liverpool become the best team to take over after Pep, this project that they were planning for reap no rewards of no come the end of it. But I'm not saying they were wrong to have this process, but then you can't guarantee anything when you're looking so far in the future. So for me personally, if we're going down this route of process, philosophy, build a team, young players, etc., I would say stick with Ten Hag. But if we're going to move from Ten Hag, then for me, you have to go to the manager up a level, not a sideways step to managers who are as unproven or as maybe unqualified as Ten Hag. Because all you're doing is just making another punt and hoping that it worked like you did 2 years ago when you picked Ten Hag. That's the way I look at it.
Okay. The reason why I will say that would be a wrong move is because we're going to be doing what the Glazers did for so long. You know, they got Van Gaal and then they sacked him with Mourinho, who was a winner. And then they went back to let's get a guy who's a nice guy in Ollie. And then they said that he wasn't good enough. Let's go back to a coach. I think for me, United need a coach now. You see in the league right now, it's all about head coaches. Coaches. Man United need a coach. I don't want Kieran McKenna, but I can see why they would go for him because he's a coach. Zerbi, coach. Tuchel, for me, I just look at him and I think, you know what? He fits into the managerial route rather than a coach route, for me personally. Then you've got the likes of, I don't know, who's like Potter, Thomas Frank, them man, they could be possibly someone else that could maybe come in. But I think United need a coach right now. That's what I believe my United need. But I'm going to get everyone else involved. Big up Staffy. We're going to read these super chats in. Big up to Zoetex says, Marcel, hold that. Craig says, finally Eric Ten Hag sacked and Van der Gaag gone. Big up Rainer, has been a member for 14 months. Thank you, mate. He says, Kieran McKenna is the guy I want. Young, exciting manager who potentially has a big future. I do not want Thomas Frank, though. My filler arc says, look at Saeed cheesing. Still 5-0 City this weekend. Jack says, McKenna is a terrible manager. Don't like his style, by the way. By the way, facts, Marcel. I will bet my whole life that Saeed, these players won't leave at all. Magic says that even last year's Rashford goal winning games make a lot of poor performances, masked a lot of poor performances. Eric Ten Hag isn't a good manager. He can't change games or manage big players.
Saeed, I need to go.
Yeah, big up Neeks,
Staffy, I'm not running from you. I know you just coming, but I gotta go. Bless up, man.
Bless up, Neeks, man. Bottom line is Eric Ten Hag deserves the sack. Terrible manager, Premier League manager. And INEOS fails, get them out too. Bring back the Qatar bid, inshallah. And Villian says, watch these players win tomorrow and the fan base will be more confused. LOL. Let's bring in Ash and Griggs. Go with you, Ash, first. I mean, you've heard Marcel, talking about, it's not been an embarrassing season and it's been mitigating circumstances. By the way, Lauren Whitwell has come out and said Eric Ten Hag has not been told about any intentions that he has been sacked. So again, up in the air, man, up in the air. But what are you saying, Ash?
Yeah, no, you know what? He wouldn't have been told that he's been sacked. What's happened most likely is that INEOS have kept it within themselves over the past couple of weeks, couple of months. And then they finally got to the point where they've deal with all like the contract negotiations and like terminate his contract. So they've had to speak to Manchester United as a club, and then from there it's been leaked, and that's why we're hearing it over the last like 24 hours and stuff. What Marcel's saying though, I mean, Marcel, I want to know what's Ten Hag done well? What does he do good? Like, what's his good thing? Like, what? I fail to see like where he impacts the team, he impacts the squad, he impacts the tactics, he impacts players. I mean, for me, the reason why we don't move forward with Ten Hag is because he's shown now. He's had his audition for the last 2 years. He's had 400 million to spend. I mean, what are we looking at really? We're looking at some of the worst performances we've ever seen as Manchester United fans. We're looking at some of the worst results. It's horrendous. I can't back the man. And in regards to Kieran McKenna, I feel like Kieran McKenna is going to be a similar style of football, to be honest. When you look at the way he plays, you know, he does like to play transitionally. He does like to play long ball into the forwards and then press from there. He can mix it up a little bit more than Ten Hag. Ten Hag, he's always struggled with his in-game management and his in-game tactics and stuff like that. Whereas Kieran McKenna, that's one thing he's been renowned for at Ipswich, is his ability to kind of switch up in-game and deal with his opposition and be able to win games from there. That's something where Ten Hag's had no ability, no control in any game. I don't remember him ever switching up a formations, bringing on a substitution where we've gone on to make a difference and win. And for me, I'm happy. I'm glad to hear the news over the last 24 hours he's leaving. I wish it wasn't 24 hours before the FA Cup final. I mean, that's madness. That shouldn't be happening. But again, it's indicative of how Man United have been run over the last 10 years under the Glazers as well, 15 years, 20 years, whatever. It's poor. It's poor, and you don't want to be seeing it. You want the players having no excuses going in tomorrow, and but for me, I'm happy to see the back of him, and I'm happy to see a new era, a new start, going into a summer with excitement and hope, rather than looking and going into a summer. Whereas, imagine if we'd kept Ten Hag. Imagine if we'd kept him this season. The players coming back, they know what he's brought this last season. He's not been able to improve any of them. He's not been able to influence anything on the football field, anything individually. I mean, what again, Marcel? I'm asking, what does he do well? Name me one thing he does well. I'm struggling.
So he had
I need to know.
So Ash, he had the Midas touch last season. I can't believe you said nothing. Last season, all the substitutions and moments was very good. Last season, we had a good structure and we saw improvement of the whole defensive line, and we was talking about one of the best defensive lines in the league. And then this season, we've seen players come through. We've seen a lot of youth players come through and do well, even though some of the ones that were purchased that were younger, they were purchased injured. If we talk about Hoyland, Amrabat's not a younger player, but again, purchased injured. Unfortunately, Malacia injured, Martinez injured. But Kobe, fantastic player that came through.
He was always coming through, though, weren't he? Kobe Mainoo was always coming through, regardless of the manager. It wasn't because of Ten Hag. You saw that talent at the academy level,
Yeah, but the reality is Ten Hag gives him the opportunity. The reality is Ten Hag plays him in all the games. That's the reality of what our manager was trying to do, and it was able to incorporate him into the system. So, there's your positives there in terms of that. And then for me, it's a change of style. Last season, again, playing similar to all the previous managers' works, and then this season he tries to enact a new style, Ash, but the decimation, we really have to understand that, how it affected. Neeks already went over it in terms of how many of the other teams in and around us suffered the similar amount of injuries and are still in and around of us, 6, 5, 4 points. So, yes, it's been our worst ever season, but there's a huge mitigating circumstance for that. And I was calling that out very, very early on. But then in comparison to that competition that we're talking about, Newcastle, they're further in their process, Ash. All these other clubs, they're further in their process than what we are at the time. So we just needed to give him more time, but I'm okay with that. Like what I was trying to say to CK, I'm happy with that. I'm not overly shocked that it's time to change the new manager. Whoever the new manager is, though, Ash, please back him in this moment. When he gets,
of course, I'm back Ten Hag as well. Of course.
Thank you, because he won't.
You know what it is, though, Marcel. Can I say a question
here? It might not be similar like this, Ash, but the moment will be, go and win us a Premier League now, please. Go and get us into top 4. You've had a poor season, 6 or whatever it is, but we need you to change it up again. Go again,
Marcel.
Get the new coat on and go to the next level. Let's see you do it again next season for us again.
Marcel, can I ask you a question, Marcel? Marcel, can I ask you a question?
We're not able to do that as fans.
Do you understand, when you're a new owner, you are allowed to sack the manager of a previous regime or you know, that you've not signed. Do you understand where they're coming from? You can sack a
He
manager.
deserves to be sacked, though, Saeed. He deserves to be sacked. It's not just for the fact that he's not their man. He's deserved it.
Do you understand the reasoning, the fact that they're allowed to sack Ten Hag? Yes or no?
Yes, Saeed, I was the first one to understand it. I was the first one to say,
okay. That's all I wanted to know.
I understand the reality. Bring me the Zerbi then. I was saying that in like January or
okay.
December last season. This season. But what I disagree with is the people that will say he deserves to be sacked. That's what I disagree with.
Hey, listen, I think there's someone that can put out maybe a list of the reasons why he should be sacked. And I think you wouldn't complain then.
All the records is broken. I mean, look at the Champions League. Finished bottom, the worst ever British team in the Champions League. Look at last season.
Don't worry.
You're looking at last season as well, Marcel. I mean, how many good performances did we actually have last season? A lot of them, again, it was similar to how we were just getting across and getting over the line. Do you know what I mean? We had maybe the Barcelona performance and that was it. Barcelona, maybe Spurs. Other than that, after the 7-0 demolition, I mean, you look at the start of the season, the Brentford game, the Brighton game, you look at the Man City game at the Etihad where he decides not to start Casemiro even though he's already been in the team for like almost a month. Do you know what I mean? And he goes with McTominay in the middle, absolute madness. And then the 7-0 against Liverpool, the lead up to the Carabao Cup final, all those performances were poor. We had to just getting over across the line. Fulham getting 2 men sent off to get through that game. I mean, home performances. Again, I'm not buying into it. You look at the goals we scored last season. What was our goal difference last season? Our goal difference was maybe plus 10. How many goals did we score? About 56, maybe 62, something like that. No 70. No, I mean, Chelsea have scored 28 more goals than us this season. 28 more goals. That's madness. You think about that. You know, it's ridiculous. The idea that Ten Hag can't improve these players. Pochettino was going to the Etihad. He was playing Emerson and Ben Davies as the centre backs. Got a free draw. Postecoglou comes to Old Trafford with Skip, Højbjerg, and who was it, Bentancur, and in the midfield, and they ran the show. It's madness. There's not been a moment under Ten Hag where we've seen what he's implementing and what he actually wants, and the players don't buy into it. I mean, it's poor, and I've not seen anything from the man. I apologise. I've never seen any kind of charisma, any kind of excitement from the players or from anything on the football field that makes me believe in him. You know, we've never scored more than 4 goals under him as a manager. No. We've never scored more than 4 goals. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we did that 10 plus times. Do you know what I mean? Under Mourinho, we did it, 10 plus times. We never scored more than 4 goals under Ten Hag. That's madness. You know, when you can talk about Kobe Mainoo coming through. Kobe Mainoo came through because players were injured. Casemiro was injured. Ericsson was injured. The rest was injured. Do you know what I mean? So Kobe Mainoo was coming through, and regardless of manager, he was coming through anyway. Do you know what I mean? Same with Garnacho. And Garnacho, as CK was saying earlier, he's been overplayed. He's been way overplayed and mismanaged. And how many players have been mismanaged? Anthony's been mismanaged. Ahmad. I mean, he's a baller. He's a superstar. He should be one of the first in that team, and he's not been, and that's down to the manager. And for me, you look at the tactics, the leaving out Varane for tactics against Man City, madness. Just so many poor decisions. Nottingham Forest taking off Kobe Mainoo, bringing on McTominay, and then going on to lose that game. The amount of games we've gone on to lose because of this manager's input. So for me, he's not a Man United manager. He's never been a Man United manager. It's great going to Heerenveen, ADO Den Haag, all them Dutch teams and putting 3 and 4 past them because they're not international level football teams like you see in the Premier League week in, week out. You come to play in the Premier League. You saw it in the first 2 games. He got, his players, they were under pressure. The physicality, the pace, he wasn't up to it. And you've seen that with Fulham coming to Old Trafford beating us 2-1. You've seen it with Bournemouth coming here beating us 3-0. You've seen it with Crystal Palace smashing us 4-0. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's madness. And the idea that this manager deserves more time is madness. And I agree with you that, we're going to get behind the manager. We always do. We want him to perform well. We want him to. But this manager definitely deserves sacking. There's no 2 ways about it.
Let me get Griggs in there. What next then, Griggs? Obviously, we done this now. Is it ideal timing? But like, what next, man? It's crazy right now. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Chelsea are in for their manager. I think you want Kieran McKenna. Like, what do you reckon next? Like, and who do you reckon leaked it? Give me your thoughts on like the process of how the news has come about today.
First of all, I don't think INEOS leaked anything. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was just United fans just kind of jumping the gun on that. obviously, based on the source, it came from Jacob Steinberg, who's a Chelsea reporter. And who are Chelsea linked with? They want Kieran McKenna. And Kieran McKenna basically told them that I'm waiting for the United job because it got released from the Times today that he said that United job could only come around once in a lifetime. So he doesn't want to miss his chance. Obviously, Chelsea probably got mad at that, and then it kind of came out that McKenna was wanted. The Athletic even reported this morning that McKenna met with United about last week. So it's been coming. It's been known that McKenna, once the club started speaking to other managers, agents, it's kind of the writings on the wall with Ten Hag. I don't know when Ten Hag got told if he sacked or if he even got told. I don't know about that. That's for INEOS to know and Ten Hag to know. So I think that's where it came from. As for the future, I've always said it for the whole year. We've been pretty much saying the same thing. The writing's on the wall for Ten Hag. We just don't know when it's going to happen. Should maybe United have told us a little bit earlier that he's going to getting sacked? Maybe. Like Bayern did with Thomas Tuchel. Maybe they could have done that because then you risk the leak coming out today, right? By not saying anything, by keeping your cards close to your chest, you risk a leak coming out. Because at the end of the day, football in 2024 is known for leaks. You can't really keep news that secretive anymore. Because the moment a journalist finds out the news, they're sharks. Journalists are sharks. They're going to try to release it, especially one that's not a United source. Jacob Steinberg has no ties to United. He doesn't have to worry about being banned from the press conferences. He's going to leak it. And that's what ended up happening. It wasn't like it came from a United source. So from the moment that came out, you should know that it wasn't INEOS leaking it. As for the future, like you said, Kieran McKenna. Shout out to me and Tim don't agree on many things. That's still my brother though. But yesterday, he was cooking about Kieran McKenna. He was spitting facts.
Not really.
I want Kieran McKenna. No, he was cooking, man. He was cooking. With Kieran McKenna.
Well, why do you think Kieran McKenna is a credible manager for Man United? Tell me why. Is it more based on hope? Be honest.
No, it's a simple fact of I think the fact of you loving Zerbi, and I don't think the CV is that different. It's really not. It's not that drastically different. It's not. It's
That's
not
crazy.
You have to when you're assessing managers, you have to assess them on a curve. Ipswich Town was in League One.
So what do you want Eddie Howe? Do you want Eddie Howe as manager?
I would take Eddie Howe as a manager, absolutely.
Do you want there's other managers that have gone from League One to the Premier League. There's other managers that have done that as well, It's a couple of managers that have done that.
Many.
Would you want them?
Not many have done that, by the way.
No, there's a couple. I think there's
four. I think the answer is four.
Well, there's only one club that did double promotion back-to-back years, and that was Southampton back in 2012, 2013. That was the last club to do double.
And who was that
It
manager?
was the last club to do it.
I don't know. It was the guy before Poch. I don't know who.
Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards has done it. Would you want Rob Edwards?
He didn't do double promotion back-to-back years.
Oh, what's his name? Luton manager. That's what they're saying. Luton manager's done it.
No, he did. He eventually got promoted from League One Championship to the Prem, but he didn't do it in back-to-back years. That's the impressive part about Kieran McKenna. It's back-to-back years, and across that span, like I said, he has the most points across England top divisions. I think it's about 192 points, and Ipswich has scored 191 goals in the meantime, which is also the most across England top divisions. And I look at that squad. That squad's not that good. It's a League One squad that he took to the championship. He got a couple
loans. How
loans.
does that translate to the Premier League? The Premier League is a different kettle of fish. Do you realize that, guys?
Okay, but it's not like he's never coached in the Premier League before, by the way. He was an assistant coach within the Premier League. He knows what Premier League football entails. And by the way, we could say that that Ole team didn't play the best of football, but guess what? That same team also finished second and third in the Premier League. Maybe the level of the Premier League was a little bit weaker, but he knows the ins and outs of the Premier League. He has proven track record with youth players. He started his career as a youth coach at Spurs. He took that team to the FA Cup, FA Youth League semifinal. Then he took over the United under-18s team, which was the last team to win the league for the under-18s before this season. That team that had Mason Greenwood, Angel Gomez, Matej Kovar. Then he got promoted. By the way, he got promoted to the first team from the under-18s, skipping the under-21s by one of the best coaches of all time in Jose Mourinho. Whether you like Jose or not, you can tell that the guy has an eye for talent and stuff like that. He knows what a coach makes. So one of the best coaches of all time in Jose Mourinho saw something in Kieran McKenna. And then from then he'll coach under Ole and stuff like that. He has good relationship with the youth. And when you look at INEOS, and Marcel talked about INEOS's message and stuff like that, when you look at the way they talk about players, they want to bring in a lot of youth players. Today we got linked with one of the best youth prospects in football, Desiree Doué. Why wouldn't you want a Kieran McKenna who has a track record? You saw what Omari Hutchinson did, by the way, with Kieran McKenna this season. The kid was basically going to be a Chelsea reject. He went on loan to Ipswich and was one of the best players in the championship this season. He might get a Premier League move now. Leif Davis, 18 assists. in the championship. 18
Bro,
assists from a fullback.
again.
That's
And
impressive.
it's the one, Saeed,
Burnley
McKenna's the one.
Football Club, yeah, absolutely.
McKenna's
tore
not
it apart.
McKenna's not like Vincent Company though. Vincent Company is very stubborn. He wants to play only one way, which is the JDP way. That's fine. Credit to him for that.
He's played some good
McKenna
football.
has
He's killed the championship though. He did what Kieran McKenna done. He absolutely
No, he
tore the
didn't.
championship apart.
No, he didn't.
Came to the Premier League.
No,
What?
he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't get double promotion. Stop saying that.
By the way, the
forget the
championship
double
was the
promotion,
worst.
man.
By the way, the
Man.
championship was so
Forget the
bad
double
last year. By the
promotion.
way,
No, hold on.
the
Hold on.
championship was
Forget
so
the
bad
double
last year. By the
promotion.
way,
Forget the double promotion. Did he not kill the championship? Yes or no?
he did. But
Burnley.
guess what? Like I said, the championship level last year was absolutely terrible because look at the three teams that got
here we
promoted.
go, man.
They
Here
all
we
got sent
go.
right back down. They all got sent right back down.
Facts.
Sheffield, worst team in Premier League history after Derby. Burnley sent right back down. Luton Town, yeah, they gave us a little bit good moments, but let's be real, they were never good enough. The championship this year, Leicester City, that's a Premier League squad, by the way, and they went toe-to-toe with Chelsea in the FA Cup. What's the next one? Leeds United, that's a Premier. They have wing pairing that can start for most Premier League clubs. Somerville, Nonto, Rudder, they have amazing ballers. Those are Premier League squads. And Ipswich finished with more points than Leeds United, and they scored more goals than both of them.
Okay. But the thing is, Burnley Football Club. It's not up to them how they decide how good the championship
you
is.
play
Yeah.
who's in front of you.
They've got to do what they got to do, and they obliterated the championship. They killed it, and they came to the Premier League. And Vincent Kompany, who I think, by the way, is still a good manager, he came to the Premier League and he got humbled. He got humbled by the quality wasn't good enough, which wasn't his fault, but he got humbled. And it's okay because you know why? It's his first season. I'm just telling you why Kieran McKenna, if you think it's such a big jump to come to Man United this summer, why you're so adamant on Kieran McKenna.
He's not coming with that. Wait, hold on. He's not coming with
But yeah,
that.
so that's what I was gonna say. He's not coming with the Ipswich squad. He's going to Man United. Same way Company, by the way, the same Vincent Company that got relegated from the Premier League is going to big Bayern.
I know. But I'm just saying.
So
clearly
that
just said
means,
he's got good credibles.
No, but look what that means. That means that scouts, board of directors, all that look at these type of managers and say if they have proper players, high level quality players, that their systems will actually thrive. Kieran McKenna is not coming here to coach Ipswich. He's going from Lee Davis to Luke Shaw. He's going from Omari Hutchinson to Marcus Rashford to Bruno Fernandes. He's going from a keeper that I don't even know who his name is to Andre Onana.
I think you guys are underestimating the jump.
To Rasmus Højlund. He's going
I
from
think you guys are
Broadhead.
underestimating the jump.
No, I will.
underestimating.
The championship was elite this year. Like the quality
I
in the
agree.
championship this
I
year
agree.
was
Look at Coventry. They
top
finished
notch.
8th. They
Like,
bopped us off the park.
I know. I'm not. Listen, but you don't.
obviously
understand
that's the main concern, right? With McKenna is the jump from
that's what I'm saying.
championship to now. That's a valid concern
fair
to have,
point,
I think. But I think there's a lot of things that he also has, and I'm not going to front like I've watched every Ipswich game. I've read up on a little bit of him. I don't know as much as Greg's or other people that have watched Ipswich all season, but I do know, his general style of play and where he comes from, and I think he does have very solid ideas as a manager. I think that are translatable to, whatever league you come to, and I think what he's done. You just kind of have to evaluate him on what he's done. He's been managed Ipswich for 2 years, and he's been wildly successful with them. And he was wildly successful in a championship last year that was of elite quality with a League One squad. And you just have to acknowledge that as it is. And the fact that he's been in the Premier League before, at Manchester United, not just any Premier League team. He's been in those dressing rooms with a lot of those players that are still here, with probably some of the main players that are going to be here next year. And we have to remember the structure that is now above him. He is not operating under the Glazers. He is operating under Wilcox. He's operating under Omar Barada. He's operating under, hopefully, Dan Ashworth. This new structure that's going to bring proper players in, young, exciting talent, and he's going to have a really sustainable game model to.
CK, can I ask you a question?
Coach.
Do you agree with the jump of Championship to the Premier League to a manager who's got Zerbi, who's got Brighton from, let's say, mid-table to 6 in the Premier League and got into Europa? Do you think that gap is similar?
In terms of, wait, what are you saying?
The achievement. The achievement, because I think, what did you say to me yesterday? The achievement of the back-to-back promotions.
What I said was, I don't think what Zerbi has done at Brighton is drastically, like, the gap between what McKenna did and what Zerbi has done is that drastic. Obviously,
see, I disagree with that massively.
When you're in the champion,
that's cap, innit? It's cap, bro.
Listen,
you know what I mean? But let him land. Let him land.
Let me tell you why. Obviously, again, League One players, back-to-back promotions. That's not easy to do. The style of football is really good, right? Again, you guys are saying, oh, it's the Premier League. Obviously, it's the Premier League. But if you're playing if you have an inferior squad and you overachieve, it's always about what you do with the cards you're dealt. If you overachieve with a squad that's not good enough, you take that into account. Obviously, Brighton doesn't have like world-class players, but they've sold players for 100 million pounds. Like they obviously recruit very well. The idea of INEOS is we're gonna bring in, like CK just said, the recruitment strategy is going to change. We're going to bring in different types of player. Maybe we have a Brighton model now, right? But obviously with more money, more cachet, things like that. Again, what Zerbi has done is good, but I think what McKenna has done with the talent that he has at his disposal is equally, if not better, or equally, if not more impressive, I should say. It's really not. It's not. I don't think it's that crazy to say. It's really not that crazy to say.
Think about that. 45. By the way, think about that. Championship has 45 games in a season. You play every 3 days. You have a League One squad, and he finished second in that league. That's absolutely special to do.
How about that? He still is in the Premier League.
Oh, why is the Premier League this almighty league?
As well.
Why is the Premier League this almighty league? Italy about to have.
It's a better league than the Championship.
Is it okay? Is it okay if I respond?
It's a great league, but the Zerbi, by the way, failed in Serie A with Sassuolo. He couldn't make Europe.
He already failed, didn't he? Let's be honest, man.
Yes,
he did.
You know where it is from?
He wasn't like the best thing ever.
I fully understand where you guys are coming from. I don't disagree with a lot of what you say. Like in terms of what he's done for the Championship and stuff like that, I fully understand that. But I just feel like it's where 1 minute we praise how much the Premier League is high intensity, it's different tempo and whatever. Next minute we say, oh, Premier League. The Premier League is it's a step up. That's why when Premier League players are playing Championship players, we expect them to blow them at the park. We don't when Premier League teams are playing Championship teams, we don't say, oh, but the Championship's competitive, they might have a chance. Generally, someone like Arsenal, someone like Man City, Liverpool, the teams that are playing well, even Brighton's and that, we expect them to smoke a Championship team. That concept alone just explains what I'm trying to say. The Premier League is different. And when we say the Zerbi's done it at a high level, you can bring McKenna in and he might be better than the Zerbi because we've seen it so many times that the manager that we think is the best doesn't work out because it just hasn't clicked for whatever reason. Look at Company. Company was flying high. He came into the Prem. He folded. So what I'm saying is that I just think once you have that Premier League taste of it, you've done your thing, you've gained that respect. I think it's just different. You sit in that seat and you manage
he's literally been coaching in the Premier League at Manchester United. Obviously, it's different to be the main guy, but like.
But once you're the main guy, it's different. Once you sit in that seat, I think it changes a lot, you know.
Yeah, but that's a different. We're talking about. I'm talking about it from a tactical perspective. Yeah. By the way, the same guy that Brighton wanted to replace as Zerbi is Kieran McKenna. So clearly, their data shows that Kieran McKenna is at a similar level.
But I think that's not a bad jump to go from there to Brighton.
No, the same guy that you want, the Zerbi, is a guy that Brighton feel is.
But he's done his experience. He's built his experience.
Is he capable? No.
He's built his experience.
Experience hype, by the way. Xavi Alonso went from Sociedad's academy team right to Bayer Leverkusen.
That's true. That's why I said you guys are not wrong. You guys are not wrong. But based on what we're measuring up, you can't.
Staff to coaching Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what you guys are saying. It's not impossible, but if you have to measure them up, you can't just discredit the Zerbi and say it's equal.
I didn't discredit it. I did not discredit it.
You said it's equal or better than.
You said it's equal or better. That's discredited.
That's not discredited.
I think that's being harsh on the Zerbi. I think that's harsh on the Zerbi.
It's not harsh. Wait. With the cards that Kieran McKenna was dealt, the talent he had available to him, it is an. Let me give you another example. Why do people think Poch did such a great job at Spurs? He took a team that is in reality should not have gone to a Champions League final. Let's be real. Obviously, they had very good players, but he took that team from nothing to Champions League final. A Spurs team that wasn't even thinking about trophies for years.
Yeah.
When
he was established as well, though. He was established as well.
Yeah,
he did his thing at Southampton and Espanyol.
The point is that when you assess a coach based off of the things that they have available to them. Why do we think Eddie Howe did such a great job at Bournemouth even though they were finishing bottom half majority of seasons, because the cards he was dealt, the way they played football. Crystal Palace, we're raving about Glasner.
But Temi,
It's not
how
like-
often
it's not like
does?
they're in the top 6?
But Temi,
It's
how
because he's-
often do you? Sorry to cut you off. How often do you have the novice, unexpected manager
A lot
compared to
now.
the manager
A
that's
lot now.
built there?
Pep Guardiola's one.
Pep was at Barcelona and that he did it at those
He
levels.
went from
No, he did it. He went from Barca B to
Barca B.
Barcelona.
Oh
he
my
went from
God.
Barca B
He's
to
a Barca B to Barcelona. He didn't have no CV
days,
experience.
man.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
You guys
God,
seriously.
it's not true, Saeed.
No, but-
Yeah, I'm saying,
Can
though,
I
like,
respond
come
to
on,
that?
man.
But
Generational manager, man.
that Barcelona
you
bit.
didn't know
see that
Back then, you
career.
didn't know that though. But back then, you didn't know that.
Do you
Back then, you
see
didn't know
the
that.
progression of that?
Real quick.
No, no, did you know that?
Hold on,
Did you know that?
Let me speak on
generational
this a
back
little
then?
bit, man. Let me speak
Wait,
about this.
Simon, one thing before you go, though. Simon, one thing before you go. That same summer, by the way, Barcelona chose Pep Guardiola, who was nothing in football, over Jose Mourinho, who had just won back-to-back Prem for Chelsea.
Come
If you were a
on,
Barcelona fan back then, you
Football
probably would have
style.
looked at them like, "Are you crazy?
Can I just say one response? And you guys just say, I'm just gonna say one sentence. You're Pep Guardiola, bro.
No, but you
this is
didn't know
Pep.
that at the time. Stop
No,
doing
it
that.
doesn't.
You
So you're
did
saying
not
McKenna
know
could be
that
the next
at the time.
Pep? Is that what you're saying?
I did
McKenna
not
could be
say
the next
that.
Pep?
Hold on,
You might as well
I'm
say
saying
it. You might as well say
I'm
it.
not gonna lie. Right now, I'm starting to get
We're gonna
angry
get the
because
next
you're
Pep.
being so
Angry stuff,
disingenuous.
eh?
We're not. Hold on, man. Because no one here, not Griggs, not
Should
Teddy, is comparing.
Don't hit me, stuff. Don't hit me.
Nah, let him land.
No one is
I'm
comparing.
joking.
No one comparing is anyone to Pep. But you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
sit
yeah.
here and be disingenuous and say that you know Pep from Barca B was about to be generational. Because I could say the same thing about Zidane. When they sacked Ancelotti and they got Zidane, if I would have told you the day Zidane got the job, he's about to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row, you'd say, Staffy, stop putting that Moroccan hashish in your hookah. Because that will never happen. But guess what? It happened, bro.
But the names you're mentioning, Pep, Zidane, they're big
here's
names.
the thing. Here's
So
the
that
thing.
means you're
We're
putting
elite
McKenna in that
players.
same
No,
lane.
no.
We're all elite
You're-
players playing under that
Okay.
pressure. They've all been elite
Okay,
players.
Arteta.
At some
Arteta,
point,
Zidane, Xabi Alonso, all been former professionals, played under the highest pressure. We don't know what
There
Kieran
ain't been a
McKenna's
lot
like
of
under a little
Artetas.
bit
There
of
ain't been
pressure.
a lot of
We have no idea.
Artetas. There ain't been a
So
lot.
I could
compared
say
to
now.
Pep.
Anyway,
Any English manager, I could be like, yo, they could be the next. Pep.
No one is saying that. But you guys here have this obsession with saying we need to get these winning managers that have done this and that. These
No,
managers.
I didn't say
for
that.
them
I didn't
to
say
get-
that.
I'm
I
not
didn't say
saying
that.
you word to word said that. But when you look at these younger upcoming managers, all of you guys don't want to deal with them because you're like, you know what?
The
They
Zerbi's
haven't
in the
really
same
done
bracket,
anything.
though.
1 second, just let me finish. They haven't done anything in the high level yet. They haven't won anything yet. These are the arguments that we always hear. But guess what? Every manager, when they won something, they still haven't won something before it. Pep had
That's
to win his
true.
first time.
Not in the Prem. Not in the Prem. Not in the Prem. You look through the Prem. There's never been a manager coming. There's never been a manager coming.
from Ukraine. Why did anyone want him from Ukraine? No one would have said that 2 years ago. He went to
Look at all the Premier League winning managers, though, Staffy. Look at all the Premier League winning managers.
Come on, man. He was established in Serie A as well.
Title winners.
What in Serie A?
Go look at the last 15.
Why are you acting like he was winning the Serie A?
No, he wasn't winning Serie A. I'm not saying he won it. I'm saying
So
he
how's
was
he
established in Serie A. Who he had 8 finishes and 1 11th finish in a Serie A league that has got Atalanta, that has got Inter Milan, that's got some top teams in that league. We're going like Serie A.
But he didn't win
They
anything
just won
until
the
he went to
trophy.
Ukraine. That's
No,
what
let's
I'm
not
trying
act
to
like
say.
He was
Serie A was
first
some
in
top
Ukraine.
league back in 2019.
He was
Let's not
first
act
in
like Serie A
Ukraine.
was some top league back in 2019.
Yeah,
It
He
wasn't.
won the league. He
Ukraine,
won
bro.
the
No
league.
one
He won
would
the
have
league
took
in
anyone
Ukraine.
from
He won the league in
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
No one would have took anyone from Ukraine. That's what I'm trying to say. This.
I mean, he went in
Yeah.
Ukraine, but before that he was with Sassuolo. He was still established. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay, so why do we rate the
Okay,
Zerbi
if
so
we're
high?
gonna big
when
up
he just-
Sassuolo, I can't big up Ipswich.
I just want to
come on,
understand
man.
this. He goes to Brighton and he gets him to finish 6 in his first year.
6th first season. Yes.
Why is this such an amazing accomplishment? And everything else that Temi said about McKenna wasn't. Because I'll tell you what, I think
Because
finishing
6th in the Premier League is higher than in the Championship. That's what it
We're
is.
finishing this
Of course,
season.
bro. Are you
Higher
kidding
than
me,
we're
man?
finishing
What are
this
you doing,
season.
man?
Hold on.
How
Of
is
course
it
it
not a
is.
bigger
Season.
achievement?
Wait.
than coming
Of
from a
course it is.
Championship? Come
All
on,
right,
man.
but this season he finished
Of course it is because the Premier League is a higher league than the
By
Championship.
the way, no. By the
Why
way,
are we
did Zerbi
pretending-
finish lower than Crystal Palace this year? By the way, who only hired
No,
the
I get
manager?
it. I get it. I
Injuries and
understand
players
that.
lost.
I get it, but I think
Injuries,
there's
injuries,
big
play loss, and we can use the
circumstances.
same excuse for Ten
I don't
Hag.
think it's injuries. I don't think recruitment has been poor.
Nah,
this season.
I hate this.
from Brighton.
Wait, can I just speak about this injury comparison to Ten Hag? The difference between Ten Hag and De Zerbi is that we still have a lot of quality papers on paper that a lot of even low managers can work with. Ten Hag regrets so much.
I don't
So
care
we
about
can't
paper.
say that
I don't care about
you-
paper. I don't care about
If
paper,
right
bro.
now Arsenal lose Rice and then lose like Rice, Saka, and maybe Saliba, we're gonna have a different conversation.
Yeah.
Those are their pillars of their team. Or so say Gabriel and Rice out of the Arsenal team is gonna kill Arsenal, bro. So come on, we have to have
all I know
biggest
is at the big level,
and they still have stars in the team that can probably carry them to a decent level.
They take risks, and if you look at the top clubs
yeah.
past, they all take risks. Bayern Munich,
every manager's a risk though right now. Every manager's a risk.
That's why there shouldn't be this much backlash under Kieran McKenna. I'm not saying
you know what it is. Let me ask you a question. I'm not arguing about you,
and I'm not against McKenna as well. Yeah,
you know what's mad about this? Yeah,
I'm not. Stay on that side.
No, Staffy. No, this is the same way you guys defend it, saying you're not bashing the Zerbi is the same way I'm saying because I think the Zerbi's higher. I'm not saying that I won't take McKenna. I'm just saying in the argument of comparing them, I think it's a bit unreasonable.
It's unreasonable. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll still take McKenna. If INEOS believe in McKenna, I'll still take him. I don't mind. But in that context of the argument of the Zerbi and McKenna, that's the only argument.
Let me get these super chats, random. Let me get these super chats in quickly. And by the way, there's 2,000 people here. You lot smash a like on the video. We need 1,000 likes. So you lot, thumbs up button, bottom right hand corner. You get me? This is a good debate. Like I said, you know what I mean? We always have good debates on this channel. Jack says, question to ask, do you think United should clear out 80% of these players because you state players aren't the problem and they could do better? In my opinion, they can't. Do you want to quickly answer that?
I mean, of course, the players can improve under Ten Hag, but a lot of them need to go. Yeah, of course. So a bit of both, really.
Wonder why Fabrizio and Ornstein have said nothing. Don't know. Maybe they don't have the sources. I think Eric Ten Hag training is behind injuries. I still think Eric training is behind the injuries. I believe so as well. Big up Nedu. Big up to you for the 5 gift membership. Get Zerbi. He uses midfield and wingers correctly, says Mapuku. Finally, the bald mechanic, aka Albino Megamind, aka Stammering PE teacher, has been fired. I don't even need him to coach the FA Cup final. Get him out, says Nedu. 20 gifted memberships after he's sacked officially. Big up. Micah says, stop asking questions. Who is straight lying? Okay, cool. Big up to Nedu says, if we appoint McKenna, I'm McKenna out from day one. How can you fire Ten Hag only to go for McKenna? What sort of bush are y'all smoking? I'd rather shit in my hands and clap higher than hire McKenna. Dan Watson says, none of these managers are caliber. Let's be real. We're accepting the PR. We're not Arsenal. 8th twice in a row won't be accepted with a process. Big Ben, thank you, says, I don't think McKenna is the right choice for Man United. United should not go for a manager that's got history with the squad. That's a good point as well. United need a manager that can bench and sell the rejects without hesitation. And then he says, Chris Wilder won the championship and Sheffield finished 9th in the Premier League only to get relegated the season after. Let's hire Wilder then. Rubbish.
It's so disingenuous. You know he wasn't playing this style of football. Stop it, bro. Bro, it's so funny when they just say, let's just make a direct compare. Yeah, one person got promoted from championship.
Now listen, I just think for me,
got promoted.
There is a lot of managers out there that have done that little comparison that you lot are saying that it's not worked out.
There's not been a lot. That's not true. That's fact.
How many people have got a back-to-back promotion? The guys in the Premier League with promotion.
Both ways as the same argument. Both ways you can say.
It's both ways. Both ways.
Yeah. Both ways you can
I cannot wait so you man get one of these media managers we're linked with so I can laugh at my head off. Every single one of them is not good enough. Eliza says, so pretentious. We have a new system, new owners, a new structure. McKenna already been at the club and knows it. Thomas Tuchel proven, Casemiro proven. McKenna in says Don F. Bring me champagne football to Trafford water parks.
W Don F.
Listen, you know what it is, yeah? Nobody knows, innit? Like, I think for me, you know what it is with me with McKenna, yeah? And I go to Marcel, I think it's the unproven, it's the unknown. You know, him coming into a massive club. That comment there that he said about the previous players as well. You know what I mean? You'd have to get rid of 80% of them players. Like, it's a big job regardless. You know what I mean? But INEOS, if they're going to pick someone, the fan base will get behind it. Don't get me wrong, but it's a massive, for me, you know, statement now. If they sack Ten Hag and they bring on someone who he could go 7 games in and not win a game. You know what I mean, McKenna? Let's be honest.
I mean, like that super chat right there is a massive point. You know, he knows the squad quite well. So is he gonna try and favor players that we kind of know, listen, they're not good enough at this level, or in terms of taking the next step, they won't be good enough. And then, yeah, like you say, it's a massive step that he's going to be taking. So we need to give the new manager time. That's for me right now. My main focus is on INEOS. If they're going to make this decision, they haven't use the safety net that I think Ten Hag would have been if you gave him the next season. You know, they have to be able to extract the players, because for me, backing a manager is outgoings as much as it is ingoings. So they have to extract the poor quality players from the squad, make sure that the outgoings are there, amount a certain amount of money, and then inject the quality into the team. That is so important this season. And it is a European competition this season, so that's going to be a bit more difficult. The new manager coming in, whether it's someone like McKenna that understands the balance of the squad or whatever, and what he can get out of the players, is he going to, you know, give a certain amount of passes to a certain amount of players that we look at and think, well, they can't play X style of football, they can't play this style of football. The next question is going to be, what is the style of football going forward that he's been given? Do we like it? Is it something that we can all get behind as well? That could become an issue. So a lot of things for us to look at, and I think the main focus should be that transfer window. But that's a really good point in terms of McKenna knows the players, some of the dud players. Is he going to keep them on? Is he going to give them another opportunity to stay here again? You know, in terms of taking that next level, that's going to hint. We're pressing the reset button. That's sending us back another season, I think, where
not really.
I think there might be a new manager bounce, Saeed, but I think for me, you know, in terms of implementing what this manager wants, that could take another season or so, or half a season or so. So, you know, like I said, I'm in limbo between a Zerbi or McKenna. That's how I feel, because I was one of the first to say Zerbi long time ago. But then in terms of what McKenna, for me, someone that understands the club, the style of football, what it means to see and impact, to watch Manchester United style of football and the history of the club. He's going to be someone that's going to be able to implement that, I think, quicker than someone that's trying to revolutionize the what we are as Manchester United in terms of that heavy possession base that Zerbi would bring, that Ten Hag, was trying to come towards. So we will just see what the future holds. But like what Ash was saying before, like what I've been saying, we all should just be backing that manager, whoever comes in. Like you were saying, before, that's got to be the main focus. But please, what I would say, which I don't think, which is why we keep going in this crazy 2-year cycle, is when you get to the difficult phase, which all of the managers have done, including Ole, by the way. Once you realize what Ole actually was going through, he got to the difficult phase. We should have kept him on instead of cutting him after. You said 7 games. It was 13 games, I think it was, or 14 games. And he could have maybe got into that Champions League, like he said he could have potentially, if we'd kept him through the process and just letting him get through that difficult period. I didn't like his style of football, but in that interview, he said, listen, I was trying to get the lines higher up the pitch. So maybe there would have been dead players to come out and that kind of thing. And yes, what CK's been saying, we have to trust the new INEOS have to prove something to us now. We have to see what they're able to add, you know, with Dan Ashworth. It's not been completed though. That's the annoying thing for me. Dan Ashworth is not landed yet. Okay,
no, it's not landed. No, it's not landed.
Yes, Wilcox is here in terms of a proven Premier League man and a recruitment man. So we're finally going to be able to get, you know, it's going to be better than Ten Hag's talent ID anyway. Because that was a poor thing, by the way, Ash, something that I can acknowledge in terms of what Ten Hag wasn't good at. That was poor talent. He's had poor talent ID, yes. But Wilcox knows, he's won the Premier League. He knows what Premier League footballer looks like. And then, you know, Ashworth is a data guy. You know, he's done that with Brighton. He's done that to a degree, a little bit less hands-on, because that's what Eddie Howe was saying, but with Newcastle. So, you know, we've got to trust what they're bringing in, but it's not been fully completed, CK, for me. So that's an issue. But once it is completed and that whole picture in terms of everything outside of the manager is those little 1% Zidane, I'm really expecting us to give that new manager the good right amount of time and then get through that sufferation period when he has to compete against the competition around him to get into that first and second position, to win, to get into Champions League finals, because they're going to have a little bit of a season or two to fight and get that right, add new quality footballers in comparison to the competition. So
Marcel, can I ask where'd you get this idea that long-termism in football works? Because you look across the board at the top elite levels, it's never worked. I mean, it's a rare thing. It happened with an anomaly with Alex Ferguson. Yeah. You look at Bayern Munich, 10 managers in 10 seasons, Bayern 5 in 5. You look at Chelsea under Abramovich, their most successful period, and probably the most successful team in the last 20 years in the Premier League under Abramovich. Chelsea, they were ruthless. It created a sense of accountability within squads. Very rarely do you see this idea of long-termism. I'm not seeing it across world football. You look at Inter had like your 5 or 6 managers between now and 2017. They fell on Simeone, and ever since they fell on Simeone, he's gone on to win things and do well for them. Same with Real Madrid, constantly rinsing and repeating managers. I just don't understand where this idea of long-termism comes from, because it's not really a successful model. So what makes you back it?
Pep Guardiola for the last certain amount of years with Klopp.
But he came in and was in a success instantly. You look at Man City before that. You look at Mancini gone, Pellegrini gone. Do you know what I mean? As soon as they weren't performing or they weren't happy with him, they were gone. They were out. So
by
the way, that Chelsea team, though,
with the amount of Premier Leagues that he's been able to amass with the certain amount of years, it's longevity that brings that upon us, Ash. You're talking about Bayern Munich. I don't even want to add Bayern Munich into any sort of conversation to do with anything. Like it's literally close your eyes and win the trophy there. So that's a
Barca, Real Madrid, Man City, Chelsea over recent years, Inter, Juve.
Are Barca a model that we should be looking after the way that they're doing right now?
Yeah, they're shambles.
We'll do the opposite then. Show me the long-termism. Where's long-termism worked? Where's it's taken 3-4 years? It's a rare thing. It's happened maybe once or twice in Premier League history.
Clubs, by the way, we're talking about clubs.
I've said it. Have world-class squads. Look at Liverpool. Look at
let Griggs land 1 second.
Arsenal. Look how long it's taken Arsenal to build to get to this stage. But it's that long-term process that gets them there.
There was still steady progress throughout those years.
But no. Look at some of the examples that Ash gave. Okay, Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea under Roman. The moment John Terry left, Chelsea became a mess. Once that core of that squad retired, they have not been stable ever since then. And they keep sacking manager after manager. They haven't been stable. Bayern Munich are the key example of not being stable, because they've gone about through 12 managerial targets and they had to settle for Vincent Kompany because every single person under the sun.
What about the last 10 years? The last 10 years of consistency.
I said that Bayern have been unstable since 2017 for a long, long time now. They just covered the cracks like Marcel. Yeah, because the Bundesliga was the easiest league to win. Now it's getting competitive again, by the way. Now the Bundesliga is getting competitive. Because Temi watched a lot of Bundesliga. You could tell the league quality has been on the rise now, and Bayern have been struggling. Their point total has been going down and down and down for the last couple of years.
Because they've tried to go down this long-termism model.
No, that's not true at all.
They tried it with Nagelsmann.
Real Madrid have had managers for a few years now. Zidane had the 3 years. He left. He came back a year later, and then had another 3 years. Carlo Ancelotti, this is his 3rd year, and he's gonna have a 4th year after that. They haven't sacked the manager since Lopetegui because they gave him 1 month, and then he was cooked after that because he wasn't good enough. But other than that, they tried to give managers time after that. Who else is that? Juventus had Allegri for about 8 years. He was there for a long time, and they kept racking up.
What's your idea of long-term vision, Michael? What's your idea of long-term vision in terms of what do you want to see? Let me ask you a question. Massive question. What's your idea of long-term vision, Marcel? I mean, Michael, sorry.
I think for me, long-term, I always look at football when it comes to a project. I give it about 3 years. I want to see what you have after 3 years, and then we go after that. For example, Arteta, the 3rd year, he showed. The first 2 years, I think, it was kind of up and down. But the 3rd year, the year they finished 5th, I think, was it? They lost the Champions League spot to Spurs. You could tell that Arsenal were on the rise, and they were ready for the next step. Obviously, they haven't won the trophy yet, but it's been a successful project so far for the most part. They haven't been able to get over the line, and the big reason why is because Pep Guardiola is in this league. I've always said this: United project, bro. As long as Pep Guardiola is on this, I get that. You might as well give up anything when it comes to.
Okay, what if you don't see progress in the 2nd year, but you see progress in the 1st year, but the 2nd year, like Ten Hag right now, you see a absolute decline in the way we play, and you don't see improvement going into the 3rd year? Would you then still back Kieran McKenna? If he was still,
I don't think. No, it depends. Like if the style of football is really, really bad, and I don't see like for example, let's say Eric Ten Hag this year. Right? That's why if Eric Ten Hag this year, right? He had the injuries, right? A lot of injuries. But if you play football where I can look at and be like,
exactly.
Okay, next year, once you get your guys back and you have another summer where let's say you spend 200 mil, that I could see the what's it called, the vision, then that's fine. But I don't see any kind of vision with Eric Ten Hag where I could see him eventually be good enough long term. That's why I said 3 years. And by the way, Ratcliffe said the same thing as me. He said 3 year project at Man United. The first phase of Man United is going to be 3 years. By the end of 3 years, they should be competing. Will they win a league in 3 years? I don't know. That's to be determined. I don't know who's going to be in this league. But in the 3 year, by was it? So it's 2024, right? By the end of 2027, United should be competing for every single trophy possible. I don't know if they're going to win. Football, anything can happen in football. But by the 3rd year, United should be competing because by then we probably would have spent about 600 mil. We're meant to have a world-class academy because this world-class guy coming in Ashworth. We're meant to be retooling everything. And INEOS, I promised to, like Marcel mentioned, get the manager, whoever is in the job, everything they need, the 99% that they need, right, behind them. So let's see what happens. But if McKenna, let's say McKenna finishes top 6 this year, right, and then next year, and then the year after that, I don't really see any improvement. I'm gonna be like, if they sack him, I'm not gonna be opposed to it, because I agree with that from Ash in terms of if a manager's not good enough, you sack him. You don't wait. I don't agree with that. Like Arsenal with Arteta, if Arsenal sacked Arteta after the year that they finished 8th back-to-back years, I wouldn't have been opposed to that. And by the way, if there was a crowd and if there was no COVID, he probably would have gotten sacked.
He probably would have got sacked. Exactly.
He got lucky. So Arsenal, but that's why I hate the Arsenal example. That's flashing in a pan bottle, man. That happens once in a lifetime. They got lucky. We probably won't get that lucky. So we'll see what happens.
Not United, man. Not the way we move. Not the way the world is always like looking at you, man. United's a special club, man. For the scrutiny.
I know that, and that's the only thing I fear about McKenna. I don't know what McKenna's gonna be like in press conferences. I don't know what he's gonna be like when the pressure comes in. Let's say
I'm not asking about press conferences. As long as he delivers on the pitch, he can be the quietest guy.
Matter. I think for me, press conferences always matter because
listen to me. If you're performing,
you want another gaslighter? Said, have you not seen?
No. Let's say we lose 3 in a row, right?
I know you didn't say that.
Let's say we lose 3 games in a row, right? Next year, if we lose 3 games in a row next year, what is Kieran McKenna gonna say at that press conference to make me still believe in him? That's what I mean by that.
No, but what I'm trying to say,
you have to be able to sell yourself to the fan base.
Yeah. But if you're performing, I'm saying if you're performing on the pitch, what you say in the press conference, I couldn't care less because I'm like, yo,
of course,
we're performing. Yeah. I get what you mean. If we're not performing, then obviously, of course. But Kieran McKenna can speak. I've seen him. I've seen his press conference. I've seen his.
I saw the videos this morning where he talked about wanting to succeed at Man United. I was ready to run through a wall for him. Let's get the business.
Oh, he said. Man. Where was that video?
He talked about when he left Man United that he always saw himself coming back coaching at Man United and like the success and the difference between Spurs and United because he coached at both clubs.
Oh, okay.
Spurs have always been the developmental club. Manchester United, you have to win. Like that's the big difference. And
okay.
He talked about it.
Let me run through these super chats here quickly. Joanne says, I want Zizou. Imagine a poll we will have. Never. He won't come. Marcel has a point. Minus goal difference, 14 defeats. Worst football seen in years. Benching Ahmad for 90% of the season. Trust the process. Todd says, Marcel broke with Eric Ten Hag quick. Man is savage. Already texted McKenna. What you doing, Mackie? That's wild. Big Ben says, English players and the long-served players Man United need to move on from. Would you like McKenna for the relationship and the history? That is dangerous. And Masood says, McKenna was part of the failure that Ollie left us. Why the F do you, man, want him back as backup to Gaffer? Please, can someone give me one valid reason for him? I mean, without using the word championship and League One, Tammy, can you?
Oh my God, Saeed!
I'm only joking. I'm relaxed, man.
So you want his senior career,
joking,
as a senior manager?
I can explain it without using those words. That's calm.
I can explain without using those words. I can do that.
Yeah, tell me. Go ahead.
Go on. Tell us.
I was gonna say, listen, I'm not a championship expert like Griggs. There's a lot of leagues I watch. Championship is probably one of the ones I watch the least. But from the little I have seen, plays a decent style of football. Clearly has the backing of his players. Improves players. Right. Has shown that he can win with inferior talent, improve inferior talent. I think I just named like 5 or 6 things. Is that fair? Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Now you answer the question, but obviously I think he wants more than that, innit? I think Masood is asking from a point of view where he's made his mind up and it's like he's almost telling you something.
I can't change the mind of a hard-headed person. I'm not trying to change something.
You know what it is though? It's because I think maybe United fans are in denial of what Man United once were and what Man United are getting now. I believe right now it's the era of head coaches now. It's not the era of managers anymore. And especially INEOS, they're looking for someone who they can, I'm not saying bully, but kind of almost say, yo, listen, this is what's going to happen. You got to work under these constraints. You got to work with this group of players. We're gonna buy you players to fit your philosophy. But at the same time, it's like, yo, like
our philosophy.
Obviously our philosophy. But Kieran McKenna is not the type of guy to, let's be honest, man, like do what Mourinho does or, do what LVG or someone else would do. He's not. And that's why even Chelsea now are looking for a head coach who's someone's younger and a progressive coach. You're not looking for a manager as per se.
Yeah, times have changed.
So times have changed. But at the same time, Kieran McKenna's name might not be as sexy as someone else's name. You know what I mean? No disrespect. But it's also, I think the biggest one is the jump from the championship to the Man United jump. I think that's the biggest hurdle that Man United fans are worried about. And I think for me, every United fan should have that worry that the jump is a very, very big jump. And is he not only doing himself a disservice to his career right now, because he could have a bad rep. He may people might say he's a good coach,
He'll be fine.
but also, you know what I mean? I'm saying like he could have that job and he could be shaken after it because of the trauma United brings him, man. People age. People go mental in this Man United job, man. Look at Ten
I
Hag,
think if he had never coached United in an assistant role, I probably would feel a little bit the same. But the fact that he has coached United, even though it's just an assistant role, is the fact that he knows what the Premier League, especially at a top club, he was Ole's right-hand man. He knows what Ole went through. Him and Michael Carrick, they know what Ole went through. They know what the pressure was. I think McKenna even coached one game, I think, because Ole was suspended. So I think the fact that he has somewhat previous experience coaching within a Premier League club, especially a club like Manchester United, that size, makes me a little bit more confident that he'll know what to do. My only worry is what happens when the going gets tough. That's my only concern. That's the risk that has. That's about it.
But that's a United fan issue, honestly.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we have to deal with. Can the fans handle the rainy periods? And I agree. I think Marcel's point with Ten Hag was always like, we're gonna have to deal with this regardless of who the next manager is. I agree with that. Like, I don't think rebuilds are linear. I think it's gonna be some of this, a little bit of this. We're not going to pull a Pep at Barcelona. We're not going to pull a Pep at Man City, a Mourinho at Chelsea it's not happening. Okay. But at the same time, if we're playing a decent style of football, again, if the way we handle the transfer market again is better than what we've been doing over the past 10 years. Like I said this the other day, I want to be surprised in the transfer market. Like, oh, we're signing X player. Oh, we were linked to somebody and then we signed them a week later, as opposed to, an Amrabat where we're waiting forever, a Højlund, we're waiting forever. Like, if we're operating differently as a whole, that is more impressive to me than anything else we can possibly do. So the manager thing, the manager's the manager. I've seen all types of managers come here and fail. Honest, let's be real. Every variation of manager has been here and failed. So if McKenna comes, is it going to be any different than Zerbi? Is it going to be any different? It just depends on your honestly, it's the style of play. I think we understand what they want. INEOS want from a style of play perspective, and they're going to bring in a manager that implements that, and then we'll go from there. I think the most important thing is the summer. We see how they handle the summer. Obviously, there's still some pieces of the puzzle that need to go into place.
Yeah,
but,
this comment here.
Yeah,
I think
gone.
This might be the second part of the press conference, right? So they obviously said Eric Ten Hag will be leaving the country to go on holiday on Sunday. When asked if he had talks scheduled with the Man United hierarchy next week, he said, "No, we already did, and on Sunday I will go on holiday. I think I deserve it." So, boy, listen. You know what's mad? People are saying he's been told. People are saying he's not been told. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Man said deserve it. Listen, it's been a long season for him, man. Let him go de-stress, man. I ain't gonna hate on a man going on holiday, you get me? Because everybody needs their holiday, regardless of whether they've performed in a job or not. But listen, man, I can't lie. I don't know whether he's been told or not. This is the maddest thing is, like, it's mad that tomorrow he could be going to a game not knowing that he's been sacked. But then obviously people he's already come out and basically, that Guardian have come out there, tier 1 source, that said that he's been sacked basically. So I don't know if he's trying to play it down. I don't know. Yeah,
It's disgraceful how it's been handled, if I'm honest with you. It's just absolute mess. And it's leaving everybody in limbo, to be honest with you, just in terms of, what's going to happen next, what kind of direction they go to next.
By the way, what do you believe? Where do you believe it's being leaked? Because a lot of people have been saying that INEOS out, but they're a disgrace. But like, people need to realize, like, it's come out, but I don't think it's been from INEOS. I don't think it has been, man. I don't want to blame. I don't know. I really don't know, Saeed. And for me, maybe they should have made this. It could be. I would want them maybe to take hold of the situation and maybe say, no decision, and stand firm with it. I've seen a bit of Melissa Reddy. I think her article on it is saying that they're still standing firm with it and saying INEOS are saying that it's definitely nothing's really been confirmed at the moment. So I mean that gives a little bit of hope to me in terms of maybe Ten Hag still staying on, but I understand the realities of what it is. They've wanted to change everything else. They've wanted to put everything else around this situation, and the manager is part of that, in terms of helping us progress and setting a good foundation for what happens on the football pitch. So if that is what the avenue that we're going down, there's Zerbi or McKenna, and I think McKenna's the better one out the two for me, but it's just been
Crazy.
It's funny, man, how you change you know what I mean, from Zerbi to McKenna, man. I just find it hilarious. But listen, that's your opinion. Masood says, what is the ultimate goal when we get McKenna? If it's not to eventually win the league, what the fuck is the point? Because you know he won't. I don't know, you know. I'll be honest with you.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Man.
Like I said, bro, if Pep Guardiola signed a 3-year extension with Manchester City tomorrow, we're all gonna be like, it's clip for the next 3 years anyway. Let's be real.
Yeah. I told people, man, listen, yeah, we can collect trophies along the way, but right now, like I said to you, man, I just think United fans need to see good football. Right now, we've been absolutely done by this manager here with the level of football we've been playing this season. I think everyone right now needs to go back to just loving football, man. Right now, majority of United fans hate football.
We're going back to level 1, Saeed. We're going back to level 1. This is what everyone
I
needs
know.
to understand.
Yeah, Saeed,
Level 1.
I agree with you. Yeah.
You know what, Rhino? We're going back to level 1 upstairs before we go back to level 1 on the pitch, because we had to do a whole club reset.
Yeah.
So you're resetting upstairs to get a reset on the pitch, because the whole thing was just like, bro, it was the Titanic. It was going to sink in any minute now. And this is why when that super chat says, well, the goal is to win the league. Well, obviously, I'll tell you that pretty much at least 6-7 teams every year want to win the league in the Premier League. Not everyone could do it, but we shouldn't be talking about winning the league for the next couple of years, because we have set ourselves back so much that we shouldn't be talking about that. Of course, I want to talk about that and watch the standards FC come after me now. Be like, oh, Staffy, oh, big Man United doesn't want to win the league. They're gonna say that, but they're taking the words out of context. I want to win the league, but I know what I need to do to win the league. And I need to go back to level 1 reset in order to go forward again, because we couldn't go forward as we are right now. Whoever the next manager is, whether it's the Zerbi, whether it's what's his name, McKenna, Tuchel, whoever it is, none of us should be sitting here and saying this manager will definitely fail. Let's not get him. None of us know that. We can all have. I think Temi just said it, or someone else. He said it depends on your preference. That's the one thing that I don't mind. If we all just sit here and say who our preference is for the next manager, I have no issue with it. But to completely rule out certain managers and say, oh, we're never going to win the league with them. Oh, we're never going to play certain football with them. It's cap. There's actually no proof.
Guaranteed.
It's 100% no proof. And that's why whoever the next manager is, I will say what I like and what I don't like about them, but I'm going to sit back and watch. I have to sit back and watch how the whole system is going to operate with the new manager, because you know what this is? This whole thing is new to us. Most of us here, and I wouldn't say myself, but most of the youngies sitting in the comments, they haven't really seen the United outside of the Glazers. They haven't really seen anything before the 2010s.
Well, tomorrow, next
so
season
they just know
be...
United as it is right now. So they gotta wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Next season will be I think, what was it? Something a stat about Fergie. You know, what was that stat? They've not seen Fergie basically, or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? What was that stat, man? Someone said to me yesterday, the people who are starting school next year or something like that won't have seen Fergie. Something weird stat anyway, and it was like, yo, just showing you like some people haven't seen like success, you know, or major success at Man United. You know, see the league title.
Next year's what? 11 years since Fergie left?
Yeah, 11 years. Yeah, something like that. So
no, I think it's already 11 because it's 2024 now.
Yeah, 11 years. Yeah.
So, you know what it is for me? Yeah, I feel like
style of football retired 12, 13, I think.
Style of football is definitely important, but I feel like the main thing for me is just that direction.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. There.
Moving correctly. You know what I mean?
People in year 7 hasn't seen a Premier League since Fergie.
Someone said, I haven't watched United since, he said, I wasn't born before the Glazers took over. I would love to think, how old do you think I am to say that? Because when did the Glazers take over? 2004?
Yeah, 2004, 2005.
You'll be in for a shock, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there you go. It's starting high school, isn't it? That's, by the way, I feel old, man. Crazy, starting high school.
Kids 11 years old start high school? But 10 years old start 11 years old?
Yeah, they start high school. Yeah, 11. Yeah, 11. So
11
starting high school. Yeah, they start high school at 11. Primary school before that.
High school at 11.
Yeah.
In UK.
11 to 16. 11 to 16, and then you get college for 2 years. And then you go to university. How many years of
high school do you guys have?
5.
Maybe that's why.
Well, how many do you have in grade? What's grade school? What's the grade?
Because we have 4.
We have elementary. Elementary school
is K to 5, and then
K to 5. Then we have 6 to 8, which is middle school. Then we have high school, which is 9 to 12, and then we have college for 4 years.
Shit.
Minimum.
Okay. Say no more. That's something you knew every day, man. By the way, do we think that this will be a distraction for tomorrow, or zero distraction at all?
Yeah,
back for the final. tomorrow.
Oh,
But
talking about it
I think
loads.
for the players though, people saying like how the players are gonna respond, bro. You don't need to forget about this. Tomorrow you have an FA Cup final against Manchester
Yeah.
City, your local rivals. You don't need to don't worry about what Ten Hag. Worry about that after the game. Right now, your job is to be Manchester City, and I think Ten Hag will approach it the same way because at the end of the day, it's business. So just handle your business, and then we'll worry about the off the field matters after that. But that's all they gotta do, bro. Would it have been nicer if they didn't come out today? Yeah, it would have been a little bit nice. But at the end of the day, you don't need motivation. You don't need nothing. Just worry about the game tomorrow and go out there. It's the final game of the season and try to end this horrible, horrible season on the slightest positive note that you could do it. Just redeem a little bit.
I'm just scared if we win this, Marcel comes back next week and tells you, see, this is why we can't get rid of the manager. I have a big feeling. And when I said Marcel, it's mainly the people that are Ten Hag in. Bro, I want to enjoy our FA Cup if we win it. I don't want to listen to that because that won't justify anything to what I've seen this season, bro. I'm sorry. I've seen enough this season to make my decision.
They'll be able to rewrite history a little bit, though. Because if he has 2 trophies in 2 years at Man United, down the line, they'll be remembered a little bit better.
Nah, bro, seriously. He's fair play to him, man. If he gets 2 trophies in 2 years, that's more than Arteta, man. We could dunk on these Arsenal fans. Do you know what I mean?
Are we actually talking about winning the FA Cup though? Come on, I mean.
No. I don't think.
Anything can
we got a
happen.
plan tomorrow now. I got a vision tomorrow, man.
We can do
Anything
it,
can
man.
happen.
We can do it.
We can do it.
You can do it,
Anything
yeah.
can happen, man.
I wish, man. I wish.
Said, are
That's
you
where
going
we
to the
are,
game?
though,
Did you make
actually.
your
We have
mind?
to win
Nah,
one
I'm not
of
going.
the
I'm not
league for
going.
11 years.
Side ducked.
We have to pick up
Yeah,
trophies.
man. I just
Side
analyzed
duck,
the whole
side duck,
situation,
side
man. I don't think
I've seen
Marcel,
what-
you're not going in it. You're not going in it. Are you going, Marcel?
I haven't got a ticket, but I might. We'll see. You never know what happens in the next.
Last
round.
minute, innit? Yeah, last minute.
Yeah,
no
last minute.
Yeah. Nah, I'm
You
not
don't want to
going.
go
I'm
see
not
your
going,
gaffer's
man.
last game, man. You have to go. It's your gaffer's last
Yeah.
game. It's the last time you'll see him in the country.
No.
Yeah,
I know, but I have a new gaffer. I support Man United first. You know, I'm not tied down to just.
No, but I
one
get that,
manager.
man. I think we all will, though, until we
Oh, it
all
should be.
see that.
Do you get
You
it?
don't think it's in there? You know what it is?
New gaffer. This is why we love the club. Do you get it? I'll have a new gaffer that I'll be, all hell bent. This is the
Oh.
guy for the job. So it is what it is. It's part
You know
of the
what it is,
process.
though, man? It's going to be
I'm
funny,
in-
man. The
I'm in
Kieran
love with the
McKenna.
process more than anything.
Like someone asked me, "Oh, Saeed, man, you're just gonna be McKenna out?" I said, "Broski, don't watch what I do in it." That's what I said to the guy, yo. Don't watch what I do, bro. Why are you trying to watch me, man? If I don't see progress in or whatnot in McKenna, I'll call it out. But what I will say with McKenna, though, I know he'll play better football than Ten Hag. I instantly will know because I've seen the football he's played. I can tell he'll play better football than Ten Hag. But like I said to you, it comes down to a point of is that what circumstance, what will it give him? What kind of player profiles? He won't spend 80 million on Anthony or whatever or go. Like he'll go for more profiles. He might go with the names that we don't know. You know what I mean?
He's got no say. He's got no say. It's
Well,
gonna
there
be
you go.
INEOS.
INEOS will
By
do
the way,
that,
the
so-
transfer targets are already out. Mumpeteers released them.
At least
the whole
say-
list is out.
Or at least say.
No, I'm saying like the whole list is out from Mumpeteers. They released every single transfer target we have, and they
Yeah, I've
tiered
seen
it.
that.
Most
Seen
likely
that.
it-
Seen
so
that.
McKenna has no say. Maybe he'll try to be like, "Yo,
We
Lee
need to at
Davis,
least say, man.
left back."
Let's-
Like, don't think about that. But
Desiree Deru, do you know this? Anyone watched him play? I've not watched him play, I can't lie to you.
I watched the comp. He looks like the best player in the world.
Uber,
You're
bro.
missing out if you haven't watched them. You're missing out.
That
Seriously.
comp moved me, man. The football
Just
reference,
look at
all I saw was green, cash money.
Nah, but
I'll
the
move,
thing
man.
is, right,
Let's get money.
Bro, he looked like a fake FIFA player. Like it just didn't,
Yeah, but
it
you
didn't
gotta
look
be
Or
real.
them back heels,
No, man.
them back heel
We've
passes.
seen
was
comps
moving.
before, man.
Saeed,
Nah,
he's a
Saeed,
jet, bro.
Saeed,
Nah,
Saeed,
but
I'm
Renee-
telling you,
Anthony,
Renee
man.
he
Academy-
looks fake.
Anthony comps.
No. Don't
Renee
ever compare him to
Academy
Anthony,
is pretty
please.
much
You'll regret
top
it.
talent.
Go watch him first before you do that. Said, I'm telling you, he looks fake. He just looks like a FIFA player.
Nah,
Bro,
he's
listen.
insane, bro. He's
I
one
don't
of the
know,
best-
man.
He's one of the best under 21 talents in the world. He's literally
Is he
one.
French? Yeah, French.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's
you would
French.
think he's
the
Brazilian.
Rennes
with the
Academy.
way-
How
Bro.
old is he? 18.
That academy produces
Rennes,
different.
yeah, different.
The,
That
the,
academy's
Renee,
crazy.
the Renee Academy is one of the best academies in the world, man. They're cash money.
No, he's insane. Yeah, he's 18. He can play anywhere, literally anywhere.
Bro,
Left wing,
left
right
wing.
wing, 8, 10. You can even play a little bit deeper. He's just insanely talented. Insane dribbler, playmaker, scorer.
This is gonna sound so
He's
crazy,
crazy.
bro. When you watch him, I'm not gonna lie, you see Neymar.
Neymar.
I knew you were gonna say that. I
Oh,
knew
man,
you were gonna
come
say
on,
that.
man.
It's so crazy to say that, but the way that he dropped, like,
No, Saeed, you do gotta watch him though. Like I understand it.
the way-
You don't
can't
need generation talent, man. He
No,
can't.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's Neymar level talent, but when you watch him, it feels like you're watching Neymar in terms of the dropping deep, picking up the ball, dribbling the past the players, the 1-2 touches, that kind of stuff. It feels like you're watching Neymar. Obviously, there is no Neymar out there. Neymar's once in a lifetime generational talent, but you get the feeling of a Neymar. It's like that's what it feels like.
It's like put some comps on, man.
Bro,
Nah, can't,
because we
get
talk about
copyrighted.
Neymar. Yo, we mentioned the positions. Neymar can play left
Playback.
wing.
Follow me on playback. What we'll
There you
do
go.
tomorrow,
Follow
yeah?
straight on playback,
Playback
man.
tomorrow. We'll react
Ready
to
to
it.
do
So
a
everyone
combo.
right now, link to comment. Follow me on playback. Then we can react to it. We can't do it on YouTube, man. Them man are too tight, man. You know what I'm saying? Too. You get copyright strike, man. You know the ones there.
Hopefully it's not another Camavinga situation. Because when we got linked with Camavinga in 2021 that summer, I was so gassed, and then he ended up going to Madrid. So I hope it's not going to PSG.
Yeah, man. You know what it is for me, yeah. Like I said, yeah. I look at the talent this summer, bro. I'm excited, man. But at the same time, I just want to get rid of players, man. Guys, man. Let's get rid of players first. Forget about signings, guys, man. We don't need to be talking about signings. Get rid of 80% of the squad. This we do all the time, though. We get so excited about signings, yeah. We still got half of the mess still there, man. Get rid of them first and then get the signings in. That's what I would do. But then again, apparently that's not logical, innit? So this is what
McKenna
it is.
loves McTominay, by the way.
I know. What about McKenna? Okay, by the way, let me ask a question. What if McKenna loves McTominay and he loves Maguire and he wants to play them? What are you not going to say then? What are you not going to say then?
I'm out.
INEOS, do your thing, sell them anyway.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man.
This
is why I don't
want to before McKenna comes in.
Wallahi, what if McKenna wants to play these scrubs, man? You know? He wants to play McTominay and he wants to keep Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side.
But surely, I haven't watched how he plays, but surely the way he plays, McTominay...
The way he builds up, he will definitely not use...
No, because first of all, McKenna uses his right back as a right center back in build-up. And then he has his left back be available for the switch. I don't know. I just don't.
Sometimes he likes to go long, and he has two cams there, and he likes to go long, and he separates them wide, and he likes the big lads up top to load the ball into. So McTominay could do that for him, and that is worrying.
That's why he'll go get Guirassy. Then said, bro, it's top striker talent.
Guirassy's going to Dortmund. Guirassy's going to Dortmund.
We'll find Josh Versace, man. We got plans, man. Don't worry.
I said we got plans, you know. I don't know, man.
Griggs be with INEOS, bro, before he came here.
Oh, we got
that man are already on INEOS, man. They're already on him. Like there's certain man crying, man. Certain man are crying today, man. You know what I'm saying? Because their manager's leaving, man. Relax.
Nah, it's just some people. Nah, it's the same people that dropped the Fergie newspaper clip from like 30 years ago, man. They got to give it up.
Oh my days! I swear down. If I see another Fergie newspaper out there on Twitter, they
show me newspapers from the Ronald Reagan administration, bro. No one cares, man. It's over. Give it up, bro.
Man are saying, look at Fergie. You know what's man? They're saying, would you have sacked Fergie? I'm like, bro, why are you trying to like put me in that situation of a different time frame? In a different way of football, come on, man.
Bro, the guy was dealing with alcoholics. The guy was dealing with alcoholics in the club, and
we're going to be back in this same kind of feeling again after 2 or 3 years. Mark my words. I see all in the future. I'll see
2 or 3 years.
Do not skip me.
Why can't we have a manager that comes in and does well and continues to do?
Exactly. Why do you keep thinking about the negative? By the way, why do you keep thinking about the negative?
Yeah, and Marcel, to answer that quickly,
you are. You're focused on the negative too much.
Marcel, can I add something to what you're saying quickly?
Can
I add something to what you're saying? But don't you think there's a difference, though, Marcel? Don't you think that what's hindered all these managers has been partly, obviously, the managers not being good enough to a degree, maybe coming at the wrong time, and the structure. The structure's improving. So don't you feel like there's an ounce of chance that it's going to be a bit different? It has to be some difference.
Yes. Yeah. I do think that there'll be some difference. What I think will be similar, though, Rhino, is the fact that we will start demanding of this whole structure. Can you go and win us a Premier League? Can you go win us a Champions League? And if this structure, that's why I've been saying the summer is so important, if this structure fails to extract the footballers at an efficient rate that we as fans know need to be extracted, and they don't implement the good footballers back in, and that takes time to build, all these, like, we're going to get a point where there's going to be a teething period. I'm asking you now, stick with us, please. Just stick, carry on believing in that process. Even though it's only top 4 for 3 years, and you're thinking, nah, we need to get first or second, or nah, we need to get further in the Champions League. I'm saying, please stick with the process. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't. Listen, I see progress. Stop using the word process.
Progress.
You're still going to be saying, go on. Progress. Use the word progress.
Yeah.
Why the word process?
Nah, I must use the word process. No progress.
I didn't want
so-
Phil to take a shot every time he says the word process.
It's never gonna be a straight line of progress like that. Never. That's never how football works. It's never.
Yeah, but then it's also not telling people that when you lose 6-7-0, it is also, you know what? Yeah, trust the process. You know what I mean? Like in your second season. So where's the kind of line that you draw? Like
It's
are
never
you
been
losing-
straight line, but it's
the line
Yeah, go
that
on.
I draw,
This can't be a
what
crazy
I've
ass
accepted
slope.
within this
Yeah,
season is there's
yeah.
a certain amount of games that gives you that line. But the injuries was the mitigating
talk about injuries, please.
circumstances for why you get to the
Everybody's
situation
had
of the
injuries.
6-7-0.
Everybody's
had
It
injuries.
was
Man.
Oh
astronomical.
my God, we
Progress
went back to
isn't
the start of the
linear,
show again.
Progress
isn't
isn't
linear.
linear.
I
Yeah,
think
you know.
It's not
history will
linear.
still get us to that space where we accept that. I think we will. There won't be this amount of injuries for our football club again. But in terms of when we look at the table, and the
We've always had
history shows
that
us,
injuries,
it was-
Marcel.
it
Remember
was X
Smalling,
amount-
Jones. We've
when we
always
look
had
back at the
injuries.
table,
Yeah,
and
I
the
know.
history shows us it was X amount of games that we lost. I would say, right, okay, yeah, that is maybe where the benchmark lies. But the reason why he wasn't able to win these games for me, I think still, because I believe in there's a percentage on things. It's not just black and white. There's a percentage on things. You know, it's percentage here, percentage here. That's how we got to look at it. But for me, there's clear mitigating circumstances to why there's capitulations in games and these kind of things.
Yeah, big up Timmy, big up Peg. You know what's mad, yeah? I listen, I'm all for, you know what I mean, understanding that there's time needed for manager, but I also think as well, man, 2 years to 18 months, you'll see where you're kind of going with a manager. You know what I mean? You start to understand this philosophy a little bit. Obviously, in the third year is probably where you say to yourself, he's done enough in the second year to warrant a third year. But I think for me, he'll probably give the manager a maybe 2.5 to 3 year deal anyway. I think he'll give him between that, around that mark anyway. Maybe a 2.5 to 3 year deal to the next manager, because that's the first manager that they've had. So they don't have to have like, oh, it must be right now. This is the first manager they've had. So, and also INEOS have sacked 5 managers at Nice. They're not as, you know, patient as what people think they are. Yeah, it's Nice, and don't get me wrong, it's a different entity, but they've sacked 5 managers in 5 years. Effectively, one manager season.
I have a question though. Are people fine with not finishing top 4 next year?
I think we're finishing 6.
It's more likely, isn't it? It's like more likely we'll finish out.
I want to see good football. That's
fine. I'm saying, like, obviously with good football, but I'm just saying, like, if people are, because there's a high chance I don't think United finish top 4 next year. I just don't see United having
no way.
You're right.
No way.
Unless Kieran McKenna turns out to be a
More than
genius that even I haven't predicted, then that's fine. But I just don't see United.
City are going to get better. Arsenal are going to get
City,
better.
Arsenal are already clear. Forget about that. That's the top.
Top two. It's whether Aston Villa drop off madly.
Yeah, Liverpool aren't going to lose enough players for them to fall out the top 4, in my opinion.
No.
I don't think Arne Slot can be that bad. And then, Villa, Chelsea, Newcastle, who all have better squads than us.
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's what I'm trying to say. But
So
again, like I said to you, that's what I'm saying.
How bad is this position?
And Crystal Palace and West Ham coming up.
Here we
you know
go.
what I mean?
This is what I'm saying, man. This,
Oh,
bro,
no.
look what you're saying. Look what you're doing.
No. We're 8th, though. We're not top 6.
We're 8th, bro. We're 8th.
We're 8th. Wait, we're not top 6.
We're 8th, and we didn't have. We're
I forgot
8th
about
without
Spurs.
having a clear out, without playing a style of football. All these things are the issue. If we finish 6th next year, but you saw that we had a clear out, we got rid of the bad players. We're starting to recruit good players.
Oh my!
And he's starting to
days,
implement a style of play that eventually will take you to the top. You will be patient. We're all here smart enough to see something to believe in. None of us here just look at results and we're like, oh, we're going to use results-based analysis. That's not what we do. None of us here have been doing that. But we need to see something to believe in. If I see any type of progress or a step back in order to go forward, I'll understand. I'll be like, you know what? We just got rid of Rashford. We just got rid of Bruno. We just got rid of Varane. This, I'm obviously using that as an example. Yeah, of course I expect a regression because these are the plays we've been accustomed to for about 5, 6, 7 years now. But these guys are finally gone. We're bringing new players in. We're bringing in a new manager, and it's a new ownership technically. So I have to give it time to prosper. But I need to see some credit before I can give you the credit to eventually, when you get a little bit stale, where I'm like, you know what, I'll believe in you. I'm gonna still give you a chance because, as you guys said, progress is not linear. It's ups and downs and ups and downs. But go a little bit up first. Give me the ups that I need, and then I'll give you the credit when you go down. And that's how it should be.
But then, Staffy, also to add to that, it's not like sharp downs though. It's just little. It's not.
No, but you know what it is.
Ten Hag's had some serious dips, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's giving me the downs, but he never came in. This is why when people like to use the Arteta example, he never did a clear out like Arteta's. Like us finishing 8th this season and Arteta finishing 8th should not be compared. This one was more shocking because Arteta's team was very depleted. He was trying to get all of them out and he was trying to recruit the players that he wants. And obviously he's not a genius, so not every signing he made at the time hit. The thing about Ten Hag didn't try to do a clear out. Right away, he starts spending big money on Anthony and Casemiro and them. And we're in our second year and saying, oh, well, we need to sell Casemiro because he's not good enough or he's old, blah, blah, blah. All Varane is leaving, this, and that. We were never doing a clear out. That's why it's inexcusable for you to try. He always talks about how good this team is and how they think their level should be competing with this, competing with that. So if you're telling me this, but you're not showing it to me, then that's the issue. He never came out and communicated to us that we need to be patient, but he's trying to do this, he's trying to do that. Arteta used to do that with his fan base. Obviously, he got a lot of slander for it. And as Greg said earlier, at any point when he finished 8th twice and he got sacked, we would have understood. Yes, I agree with it because I thought at the time he deserves to be sacked. But fair enough, they stuck by it. Right now, they're competing for the league. Whether they eventually win the league or not, that's their issue. I'm not worrying about that. But I've never seen my manager come in and try to do that. He tried to cover over the cracks too much. That's why when we got slapped last season in the first 2 games, he gave up his style of play right away. And he was like, actually, I'm going to hold it until next year. Let me try to get Casemiro in right now. And I'll try to do that next year. And you never do that, bro. You never wait until next year to implement your style of play because you lost a whole year. You lost a whole year of patience with the fans. So it's on him, bro. I'm not going to give the new manager the same energy in the first year. I was very patient with Ten Hag the first year. The fact that I accepted, I wouldn't say accepted, but the fact that I was patient after losing 7-0 actually says a lot about me because I've never thought I would allow something like that. And I've allowed it with him. And this is why I'm even more angry because I should have never let my standards drop that much.
Yeah, no, I wanted him gone. After 7-0, 7-0 is a sackable offence. It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, 7-0 is Liverpool, sackable offence instantly there.
But you look at it, man, the results this season, it's not been great, man. And you know what's good about INEOS, what I like, though? They've not looked at this game and said, yo, his season's going to define in one game. I'm so glad that they have not done that. They've looked at the whole season as a whole. They've analysed the football. They've analysed the way we've been throughout the whole season. What's gone wrong? Yeah, they've actually looked at the injuries, but they've also looked at the training methods as to why these injuries have been happening. They looked at the strenuous maybe training methods. They've looked at the routines, what happens, what doesn't happen. You know, like they've been analysing everything, bro. They've been making their reports and they've analysed it from that point of view. Said, you know what? We need to move from Ten Hag. I don't think he's a guy to take us forward. And now they've gone to a Kieran McKenna, who they believe is the next up-and-coming guy, or they go to Zerbi, who they believe is a better coach than Ten Hag, and then go like that and say, you know what? We've got our new man. And every guy should be back in the process, as they say. They said INEOS will fix it. So now go and fix it. You know what I mean? So this is what you have to do now, you know? So I look at it from a point of view. Even Wilcox, I think Wilcox was probably the best, person they brought in. I think he was a guy that may have cost Eric Ten Hag's job, you know, if I'm being honest with you. Before that, you kind of look at it, thinking to yourself, but he's coming as a footballing man. He has been in a footballing, he's been at Man City. He's been at the Southampton. They've been in 2 football institutions where they pride on playing good football. He said, you know what?
Blackburn as well.
Blackburn as well, yeah.
Title winner.
Yeah, title winner. So
titles, yeah.
he's actually been the one that's thinking, yo,
I'm surprised we never got linked to the Southampton manager. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Russell
man, yeah.
Russell Martin.
Yeah, he plays good football.
I'm surprised we never got linked to him. Because
Yeah,
they play I think they have the most possession.
They've done a full review, man. They've done a full review, guys, man. They've not just done a little mess about review. They've done a full review. And they've said, yo, bye-bye, mate. You know what I mean? This is it now. It's not looking good. We don't really like what you're doing, mate. You know what I mean? Not looking good, pal. Bye-bye, mate. And Ten Hag apparently has got an interview tomorrow, apparently. Some mad interview tomorrow. I don't know what that's going to be about. But apparently there's an interview on Dutch radio station.
He's speaking about his future.
Sorry?
He's going to speak about his future, apparently. But I think it got recorded before today, so we'll see.
Yeah, so end of the day, you know what I mean? So I don't know. He's probably spoke about it and that whatnot. But he has said now, no, we already spoke about it. He says he's going on holiday, so it is what it is, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow we just have to pray, man. We get something out of that game, but I don't see it, man.
Are you going to Kenya after the game?
Sorry?
Are you going to Kenya after the game?
No, I'm gonna sort something out. I'm gonna plan something, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wait until the Champions League final, and then after the Champions League final, I'll be leaving the country. You know what I mean? What's
Like
this?
Ten Hag.
And what would you do if you go on vacation somewhere and you just run into Ten Hag?
Bro, listen, I'm not the kind of guy to talk smoke on people, man. I don't do that stuff, innit? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to, I'll just leave him alone.
Did you take a picture with him? Don't lie to me.
No, I wouldn't.
Like,
I wouldn't. I swear down, I wouldn't. There's some people that I swear down, I wouldn't take a picture with him.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't take a
I won't be a
picture with him.
fanboy. I won't be a fanboy. Because I've talked a lot of smoke about him, man. How could I take a picture with a guy who I've said so much shit of, man? I don't do that, man. I don't do
It's
that.
like me with Anthony. I can never take a picture with Anthony.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you
Listen, I've never took a picture with Rashford, even though I've probably been in the facility with Rashford in certain places and whatnot. I never take a picture with Rashford. Not that I don't want to, but I'm just saying it's crazy. You talk smoke about a guy and then you say, "Oh, give me a picture." I'm not that kind of guy. You know what I mean? I just keep it 100. I won't abuse you. I won't go out on the street and say, "Yo, you're effing shit." No, I just kind of give my opinion on a football platform and then go from there. I'm not a kind of guy that goes and abuses people on the street. Like, people might do that. That's up to them, but I don't do that, man. It's like the guy on the football pitch. He did it the wrong way. I wouldn't personally, before a game, start abusing the player because he's not played yet. Why would you want to abuse him? It's counterproductive, man. We want to win. We're a football team. But end of the day, he's done it. You know what I mean? It's up to him. You know what I'm saying to you? You can't control what people do, man. You can't. Simple as that. So let's get rid of super chats here before we kind of wrap up. Question: what's the ultimate? I think I've read this one already. Yeah. To change your manager, you need to talk to Man Easy Leak. Our fan base deserves Southgate. We are so toxic. Marcel is like he just lost a loved one. Mapuku says, I will cry if we get Elise. For the money, they let Kudus, Leon Bailey, Bakayoko. Elise is just Anthony. Cut, shoot. Nah, that's crazy. We need fast, fearless dribblers. Now, the fact that you said that, bro, Mamuka, Broski, come on, man. Anthony and Elise. Come on, bro. That's no, man. Come on, we can't do that, man. And De Gea saved Ten Hag last year and exposed him this year. And I just want to see United play good football. That is it, man. If we can get good football, I swear down. I don't think most of us will be angry at each other, you know. I swear down, man. We're going to be chilling, man. We're going to be talking about, yeah, man, we play some good football, though, man. You enjoy that?
Hey, how did De Gea save Ten Hag last year?
Bro, they're both joining each other in an unemployed market. It's okay, man.
Bro, De Gea finished the league on a negative.
I respect De Gea, you, man. Relax, man.
No.
Talk about Elise. Listen, Elise is coming to United, man. Forget these Chelsea fans, man. Elise.
I need to find the clip when you were mad at De Gea after that West Ham game.
Yeah, that was the day when I think I
you lost your shit that day.
Yeah, I lost my shit. I think that day and Sevilla. That day in Sevilla is when I said, yeah, David Gea, you're cooked. You're cooked. You know what I mean?
So why do you do revisionism, Saeed?
No, because you know what it is? I don't like the slander when man saying free. What do you say? What do you say there? Free transfer, man. Relax, man. Respect the Gea.
Did you hear how Griggs talks about him off air?
No, I swear. They're both going to be in the job market tomorrow. It's back.
Griggs, tell Saeed about Joe Shields. What does Joe Shields do?
He's very close with Elise, and he works at Chelsea. So I wouldn't be 100% confident in United getting Elise. Yeah, he's Elise grew up in the Chelsea academy. Yeah.
I know that. But what's Joe
Elise's younger brother plays at Chelsea too. Joe Shields works for Chelsea.
But he's
also a boyhood United fan.
That's what I'm saying.
I think no, but it's 50-50. I don't know which way he'll go, but I think Chelsea have a real shot at getting him.
I think they'll get him. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have to leave with egg on our face.
London as well. London lifestyle. It could be.
Then where would they put Palmer? Then put Palmer as a 10.
10.
Palmer 10. Where would Nkuku go though?
Who cares? Left.
I'm just thinking that logically, as a team, like
on the left,
they're gonna have to start. You know what I mean?
Nkuku's on the left.
Okay.
But then what about Modric and Raheem Sterling?
Modric, it's time to learn Ukrainian league again. I don't know.
And if they get a new striker, what about Jackson? Like they've got too many. Like
that's what I said. United guarantee Elise a lot of playing time, so he might pick us because of that. But he has a lot of connections at Chelsea where he might pick them. That's what I'm saying. Like he's got family.
He's being linked to him to increase the price, increase the transfer value. That's what that is.
Yeah, for us, against us, Ash, definitely, yeah.
His release clause, you can't really up the price.
Martial not in the squad today.
You know what I mean? So
Martial not in the squad. Sad, man. What are they doing, man? Like, just give him one more little hurrah, man. sad club, man.
He had the winner playing tomorrow, man.
I don't think he wants to
United
play for the club no more, man.
The Man United squad were not surprised today to hear reports that Erik Ten Hag will be sacked, regardless of what the result in the FA Cup final. That's some news coming from Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail. He's not injured, man. He's there, man. He's available, man. They just don't want to play him, man.
Came in, I used to watch.
He hasn't played in like 9 months, though. He hasn't played in like 7 months. You can't really.
Yeah, no. I just thought, you know what? And this one here, thoughts on Flick. Listen, Barcelona, man, they're in a bit of a mess, man. That guy, Juan Laporta, he's an absolute sick man. He's a sick individual, man. The guy said, yeah, Xavi stay. And then he said, Xavi go. You know what I mean, man? Bro,
you know why? Because all Xavi said was that Barcelona are very far away from Real Madrid as of this current moment. And then he got sacked.
Not lying.
But he should
Talk about
have already
financial
said
issues
that.
as
Why,
well.
why did he say that when he won the league with them? Like, why did he say that?
No, he said that right now. He said that like a couple.
Oh, as
ago.
of now. Oh,
yeah, he said right now
shit.
Barcelona are very off Real Madrid, and which he's not wrong because they're about to sign
He's not
Kylian
wrong.
Mbappe, by the way.
They're getting Mbappe. They got Endrick. Bro, are you mad?
And they want
Xavi
Xavi to like lessen his compensation package. I think it's 15 mil. They want him to only take 7.5 and then write the other 7.5 off. Bro, they're criminal football club.
Club's finished.
I hate them
they're
so much.
criminal.
I actually hate them so much.
They kept De Jong, and look at De Jong now. The Barca fans don't really like him anymore. It's all a mess, you know, that football club, man. You know what I'm trying to say?
They're the biggest gaslight. Laporta's the biggest gaslighter on planet Earth. Like you'll never meet a bigger gaslighter than that guy, man.
Bigger than Ten Hag?
Because he's even worse than Ten Hag because he tries to manipulate people's emotions within the football club, like the PKs, the Busquets, like tries to make them play for free and stuff like that, just so Barca don't have to activate more levers. They're a crazy club, man.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyone think that United are gonna win tomorrow before we go?
Wasn't he the reason Neymar left? By the way, did he fall out with Laporta? Or was it the old?
Nah. Bartomeu was the reason Neymar left.
Bartomeu.
Guys, we need 1,000 likes. There's 800 likes.
Yes,
Guys, get
2-1
1,000
United
likes,
tomorrow.
man.
2-1 United
United
tomorrow.
fans can't diss Barca. Yeah, we can, man. Hold that, Barca. 2-1 United. Yeah, CK. Yeah.
2-1.
Bruno winning.
Listen, I hope, you know, I hope, man. I hope we win. But I think we're gonna get beat 3-0.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Counter attack. That's what's
They got a fully fit squad. Are they missing anyone?
Fully fit squad.
Yeah, no, I can't see it.
No Edison, but that doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry.
Ortega's better.
Ortega's their cup man. He would not have played Edison anyway.
He would have. Yeah, he probably.
He would not have played. He would not have played. So listen, Marcel thinks we're gonna get the counter attack against a team who keep the ball well, and you know they suffocate you. And yeah, but listen, miracles are there to be made. What did Ollie say? Mountains are there to be climbed.
Yeah.
The magic of the FA Cup. Talk soon, man. And there's no doubt in the hand that you can see 13 seconds in. So it's calm.
By the way, Marcel, would you bring back Ollie if you had a chance? Ollie got a social.
No, I didn't like his style of football, but as time went on, I understood that if you had suffered through that difficult period that he was going through, maybe he gets you to Champions League, then he's able to get a better transfer window at the end of that season, get better quality players, and maybe he takes the next step.
Yeah, but some people are saying they'd rather have Ollie.
We go in the cycle. What we've done is we reset the cycle. Ten Hag. Then 2 years again, the second season for Ten Hag, mitigating circumstances, about to reset the cycle again. Yes, it's a bit different, as Rhino has pointed out, and as everyone kind of knows, they're working on the 1% around the manager. So hopefully it does break the cycle. But it's on the fans now to really back the manager when you get to that difficult, because it will happen again. So I'll see you lot all in the future.
Yeah, and I will win again. But listen, people.
Wait, we're gonna wrap up here now. Predictions. What's the predictions?
Yeah, predictions. I've gone for 3-0. CK's gone for 2-1.
I haven't said anything.
Okay, Rhino, Marcel, go on then.
3-1 City, man.
Yeah, Marcel.
2-1 United.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got 3-2 United.
When you lot say 2-1, like it's funny, man. You don't believe in it, but you just say yeah.
It's hope.
It's hope. Yeah.
How about you, Ash?
How are you not telling me this madness? How are you not telling me if I believe it or not? I believe it. It's not
Marcel read that Bruno Player Tribune article, man. He's hyped up.
It's faith in the system.
Marcel, you read that Player Tribune article from Bruno, man. You're hyped up. I get it, bro. Me too. Let's go. 2-1 United, man. Let's get it.
Yeah.
That's it.
By the way, who's the next player to go on that Player Tribune, man? Who's the next one? I reckon it's gonna be Kobe Mino.
Maybe it's Hoyland, man.
This is Saeed. United will win on penalties.
They're doing an
Mine
article
or
today.
Delo?
They did an interview today with
Copy
Carl
or Delo?
Yeah.
Well, what tribune you talk? What are you talking about, Saeed?
Bruno did an interview on that players' tribune. You know what that Rashford done?
Oh, I haven't
that.
even watched it yet.
Yeah, no,
Anthony
it's
did
an
one too.
article. Yeah.
Anthony did one last year.
Yeah.
After the accusations.
Yeah.
Nah, it was before.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was when he made the Brazil squad for World Cup.
Accusations.
By the way, before we wrap up, this is literally last question. Who's your front three? Mine is Hoyland, Ahmad, and Garnacho. What's your front three? Everyone.
I'll go with that.
Rashford, Hoyland, Ahmad.
Yeah, that one.
Rashford, Hoyland, Ahmad. Okay. Anyone else? Stefan?
Garnacho, McTominay, Ahmad.
I think it might happen, you know. I swear down. I
I'm
think
not even
McTominay will
joking.
start.
I think I'm
No,
just
I
laughed,
really
but
think
I'm
he
not
might start.
joking. Listen, I'm
That's crazy.
saving
Your agenda will lie. You know your agenda against Hoyland is crazy.
No, but that's
It's
not the
mad.
agenda. Wait. You're misunderstanding, Saeed. Hold
Okay,
on. Let me
okay.
put you on this screen now because I almost shifted. I need Hoyland in the second half. That's all I need.
Okay,
This is
okay,
not
okay.
agenda. Listen,
Okay.
bring on Rashford, bring on Hoyland in the second half. Listen, Luis Diaz. We'll talk in the second
When
half.
we're already
bro.
down 3-0.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, but that's a different. But that's not Hoyland's fault. That's not Rashford's fault. All I'm saying is we won't start Casemiro. We'll probably be 0-0 at halftime if we're lucky, you know. So no Casemiro. We'll be good side. We'd be down if your boy is playing side, but he won't be playing. That's what the news said. But
Yeah.
hey, conveniently we left these news out. You know, no Casemiro talk today when he's about to be benched. You know, suspicious
Ten Hag
activity on
leaving
Saeed
on a good note,
television.
man. He's leaving
Suspicious
on a
activity
good
on
note,
Saeed
man.
television today. No Casemiro talk when he's
Nah,
about to
no
be benched.
Casemiro talk, man. We're gonna wrap up here. Listen, guys, it's been a good show. We're gonna redirect it to Staffy. He's playing FIFA. Let's see how good he is on FIFA.
Yeah, Staffy, play me.
I'm about
Yeah,
to do
if
a
I-
draft, bro. I was like, you know what? I haven't done a draft in a minute.
Whenever
So fuck
you're
it. Let's
free.
just do a draft, bro. It will be anything
I'm-
better
if
than
I'm-
what Ten Hag will do.
Yeah. If you're live later on, yeah, let's do a pro clubs, man. We need to set up a pro clubs, innit? Who
Griggs
goes-
retired. He doesn't want to play, bro.
Yeah,
Tell
I'm
I'm
Griggs
gonna
that.
start pro clubs.
I'm retired, man. I'm
I'm a
retired.
left winger. I'm here.
Side. All right, say no more. Anyone's about. Yeah, GTA's on Saturday, man. Don't worry. GTA's on Saturday.
To be fair, in pro
GTA
clubs,
Saturday.
CK gives me a little bit of Martial flashbacks. I won't lie. You know,
Okay.
All right.
This-
Where do you play? Where do you play?
Big
Where do you play?
statement. Big statement.
Play up top.
No, where does
He's-
Griggs play?
I play left wing.
Oh, I'm left wing as well, you know.
Oh, so
No, but
Yeah,
Griggs
that's
can
crazy.
play in the midfield. Griggs is low key good in the midfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no.
CK
100%.
plays up top. Griggs plays anywhere, honestly, where he fancies, and I'll just play in the 10. Listen,
Yeah,
I
there you go.
I'll teach you
get
how to play
the
as a
free
10.
license role. I don't like being micromanaged. I don't
And
like
what's
being
a
Give it
Bruno
up,
role, yeah?
bro.
Bruno
Yeah.
role. Say no more.
You just
But
don't
listen,
tell anything
people-
to Griggs because he'll flip out. He'll tell you to stop telling him.
Yeah, I don't like being managed. I'm a free
Okay.
I'm a free spirit. I need to just
Okay,
vibe.
say no more. Say no more.
He's a
Listen, people,
Casemiro,
make sure you follow up all the mandem. Guys, on the link, pin link, yeah, please follow me on Playback. We're going to be live tomorrow. It's an interactive show. You guys get to come on the show as well. So on the Playback, it's just vibes, man. Generally just vibes. So make sure you follow us on the Playback. Link, comment. Thank you, CK, for coming on, man. Big up, bro.
Big up, bro. Big up as always. Big up the panel. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing on the way out. Pay your rent. Follow me
Yeah.
at State of Footy, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. Big up as always, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up to you. Ash, big up to you as always.
Yeah, pleasure as always to be and speaking to the boys and chatting that. Follow Ash Meppers, and yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and hopefully get some kind of miracle. But I mean, it's not looking likely, is it? So, but we'll be here.
Yeah. Big up to you. Big up to Griggs, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Always, bro. You know the vibes. Fridays, best debate show ever, man. And yeah, just make sure, obviously, you like, share, subscribe to Saeed. And then, obviously, Griggs Talks. I did a video earlier talking about McKenna, Ten Hag, and I looked at all those transfer targets at Muppeteers. So I kind of try to put my ideal transfer list together. And then, yeah, also follow me on Twitter at Michael_Griggs26 for where I drop my articles. And then next Wednesday, we might be doing a watch along. Olympiacos Conference League final, man. Well, I'm about to win a trophy this year, man. I'm leaving with something. I don't know what United do tomorrow, but I'm gonna make sure I leave with something next Wednesday. I'm a European champion, man. Arsenal, you can never sing that.
Olympiacos playing.
Fiorentina. It might get peaked. I'm not gonna lie. They're a good team. They're a good team.
They're a good team. They're a good team.
Nico Gonzalez.
They could win it back to back, innit? No, actually, they win they lost to West Ham. Yeah. Marcel, man, always, man. Big up, man. I'll see you on the Mandem Talk Wednesday, man. But big up, man, as always.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. I don't think I said my front three. Scott McTominay up front, Ahmad on the right, and Garnacho most probably on the left.
Come on.
Yeah, man, big conversation today, and hopefully we get a good result tomorrow.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. We think, thank God for that one. Rhino, big up as always, man. Love each and every time, man.
Come on, man. Big up everyone on the panel, man. My brothers, you know. Yeah, man, I'm not even really bothered about tomorrow, to be honest, man. It is what it is. I just want to start seeing some progress, start seeing this club do things in the right way, whether it's transfers, ins and outs, the way we play, just the way we handle things, the media, you know, these leaks, everything. I just want to see us being run properly. So that's all I ask for, man. I'm not even bothered to give my front three, man. I just don't know. City, I don't know. But yeah, big up the chat as always. Make sure you lot are smashing the likes. You know, make sure you lot follow Saeed on his playback as well. You're gonna see me play him on FIFA soon. Trust me.
Yeah,
I got smoke for some of the people still, but
yeah, I'm gonna be out later on. Shout me your PSN in it. I'm gonna play later on.
Yeah. I think I got you already still. So.
Say no more.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up, you guys.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Head over to Staffy TV. Head over there for the raid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he told me to play this as well. He told me to play this video on the way out. So here we go.